What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know what time it is. It's 9:30. It's Wednesday night, and it's time for that cause because that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Got a great show for you tonight. Got a lot of shout outs, lot to cover. Ain't going to waste too much time doing it. But foremost, I just want to give a lot of love to our subscribers. We are now up to 120 subscribers, over 17,000 views. You know, every time you watch something, just hit that like button, pass the word around, get people to subscribe because it really helps with the algorithms and the analytics of YouTube, and Tate, the coach, Shane O'Mac, and Big Game Kerry Reeves, the RWAC crew. A lot of love and so forth. And we enjoy doing this, and this just helps drive the numbers and see what can be done as this show grows. But it grows with your support and your love, and I can't thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Rebels with a Cause coming up on 2 years this late December, so we're almost there. Technically 2 months from now, we will be celebrating our 2-year birthday anniversary as a show, and we've added people. We've had a lot of guests come on. We've covered a lot of things. We've seen championships, we've seen heartbreaks, we've seen a lot of things, and we know that a lot of great things are on the horizon for everybody because that cause don't stop. So definitely thank you for all the love and support. Some housekeeping business real quick. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of Knoxville West High School. These are our views. That's myself, the Italian Stallion, two-pair Tate, Brian Tate, the coach himself, Shane O'Mac, and Big Game Kerry Reeves. Also, if you want to participate, hit that comment box and chat box. You drive this show as much as us because we all got that cause. Just got to give some quick love to our treatment. If you go there, haircuts, beard trims, fellas, I'm telling you, it is all the good stuff there. 2 tasty beverages. Go hit them up. Let them know Rebels with a Cause sent you. Let you know maybe she can get you a discount there as a first-time customer. Also got to give some love to a class of 2003 grad, Mr. Alex Thatcher and his Knoxville Coffee Company there off of Sutherland Avenue in the heart of Marble City. Go get you some coffee. Over there, and definitely let them know Rebels with a Cause sent you. Also, if you like the traditional haircut, go to Razor Shop Barber Shop, see Josh Fink or Corey, let them know that Rebels with a Cause and 2-pair Tates 332 Studios sent you. You won't regret it. They'll take care of you there as well. And speaking of 332 Studios, if you haven't followed them already, Big Fact Sports Network, give them some love. They're our sister channel, and they do some great things over there, and it's all about just pushing each other and showing each other love and support, because that's all it is, baby. That's what it is. First and foremost, I've got another big shout out that I've got to give. Let me just tell you something. It was so fantastic to be a part of this magical journey. They welcomed us a couple weeks ago, myself and 2-pair Tate, the RWAC crew, to do not one, but 2 live game day shows. As we documented their journey live from West High School, they were the #1 seed as district tournament champion, or district regular season co-champions with Bearden. And the thing was that what a special group of gals, honestly. And Coach Roberto Castro, his staff, what they did this year was second to none. Phenomenal run. And they beat a tough Farragut game with some questionable calls. Then played Bearden, and the game kind of went a certain way that maybe they didn't want it to go because they had some players hurt. It wasn't real indicative of what the season that they had before. But first and foremost, they responded when so many teams could have just said, even though we're in the region, we don't know what we've got. They go to Powell, they win 2-0. And then they go toe to toe with the IT program and wanted to let Bearden know, no, it's more like the first game. It's not the second game. And a couple of goals snuck by, but they went toe to toe. And it was 2-0. Bearden ended up winning, hosting Sevier County. Our gals went up to Science Hill, tough place to play up there in Johnson City, and went toe-to-toe with a very good Science Hill club, number 4 in the state, if I'm not mistaken, had only lost one game all year, and went 2-2. It went to penalty kicks. Unfortunately, our gals came up short, 4-2 with penalty kicks. However, what a fantastic season for these gals this year. I just want to give you some of the things right now. This year they finished 14-4 and 1 on the season. Co-district regular season champs with Bearden, who tomorrow night is going to be competing for another state championship against Houston, and more than likely will win that state championship. Good luck to our rivals over there. Not going to hate. You beat us right up. District tournament runner-up. I mean, there's nothing else to be. If you're going to be runner-up, it might as well be against the best team in the state. Region tournament runner-up against that same team, and another sub-state qualifier. So, ladies, a fantastic season. Seniors, I'm going to talk about you in a second. For you young gals that are the juniors, the sophomores, and the freshmen, you now know what it is, of what the standard, what the culture of this program is, and what Coach Roberto Castro and his staff basically want. And it's culture. And you need to definitely go out there and continue this magical journey. It just doesn't stop. That cause don't stop when the clock hits 0. As for the senior girls, I want to give a special shout out to the Killer A's, as I like to call them. Ava Curtis, Addison Cox, and Abby Harriman. No pun intended, as we are in the week of Halloween. But you and the other 5 seniors, congratulations on being the all-time winningest girls senior class at West High School with 51 wins in your 4 years. Just want to also show their accomplishments below. Their overall record, 51, 23, and 5 ties. 1 state tournament appearance, along with 2 other sub-state qualifiers. 2 district regular season championships, 1 shared, 1 outright. 1 district tournament championship. 3-time region tournament runner-up. 3-time district tournament runner-up. And phenomenal victories over rival schools that for years we could not get over the hump and beat. But ladies, hats off to you. For the previous record went to the class of 2023 with 45 wins, and they also were tied with class of 2011 way back yonder with 45 wins themselves. But ladies, you took it to another pinnacle, and hats off to you. I hope that you all continue your journey, whether you're playing soccer at the next level, but you will always be forever remembered as the winningest senior class in West High history when it comes to lady Rebel soccer, and that's in 75 years as a school. So be proud of yourselves. I'm damn proud of you, and always throw up that W. Keep it up. All right, really proud of you. That being said, tomorrow we got some business to take care of. It's a Thursday throwdown in Marble City. Before I get into it, though, I want you to show some love to my panel, my co-hosts that are going to be on tonight, because we're all going to talk about it. Because it wouldn't be football season and the culmination of a regular season without talking about our Knoxville West Rebels and the Powell Panthers. They don't like us. We don't like them. But at the end of the day, there's respect amongst rivals. But I'm going to bring on my panel because I know they got a lot to say about this game tomorrow night. It's on Rivalry Thursday. We're going to talk about it. But first and foremost, got to bring him on. One of the OGs. Came on a couple weeks later. Been a mainstay ever since. Was our stats guy behind the scenes. And then nicknamed by our Parker Dubon as the coach. Show him the love he deserves. Here comes the money! Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee, what is up, baby? How you doing?
Money. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
All them hours you're working, you are getting that money. You need it, so.
Yeah. Good paydays, and all it is work, gym, podcast.
Rinse, dry, repeat. Just like Brock Lesnar. So, Spin City, baby. Suplex City.
Even though I took some time off from the gym, I was happy today because I hit 300 on my incline. So, always a good day in the gym.
Oh yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there, baby. You'll get there for
Oh yeah,
sure.
no, I maxed out the machine today. It was 300 on there.
That's nice, man. That's good. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. I'm telling you. Um, also got to get on my other guy. Let me just tell you this: if he was still an SRO officer, he would be at this game because it's big time. And he was always there for the big games, making sure that we all enjoyed ourselves and it was a safe environment. But I know he's got a lot to talk about. He's got a lot to bring. The one, the only. Give him some love, everybody, whether you're watching live or recorded. Big game, Kerry Reeves. What's up, man?
Hello, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, man,
What a
I'm doing great
what
with
a
you
wonderful
guys.
what a wonderful Wednesday night, man. Being with the boys, talking football, talking stuff. Let's have some fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to have some great fun and so forth. Well, let's get to it. As you can see, there's some Week 10 scores down there. And from what I see here, you can see that a lot of the main players that are going to be having that postseason run pretty much took care of business last week. Want to talk about our guys last week. Shout out to West, 3 in a row, another big region win, homecoming win, no less. They beat Carnes 45-7. Coach, I know that's a little bittersweet for you because obviously you coach for the middle school ranks and you're an
Yeah.
alum of West, so that's kind of a little bit tough right there.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
That's right.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Talk to me about 2 to 3 years, and then my conversation might be a little bit different.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no. I hear you on that one. So, but
When it comes to where my boys playing at, that's gonna be a whole different story.
well, I hope he'd look really mighty fine in navy blue, red, and white. But
Tell me
that's
about it.
just
Yeah,
He
me.
rocking
would.
that
So
number
He'd actually look
25
pretty
over
good
there
in
would be
that.
great.
yeah, it'd be great. So I know we'd love to have him. So, but yeah, West, took care of business Friday night against Carnes, 45-7. And you want to know something? The sad part is, and I'm not wanting to take anything away from Carnes, but there were 2 touchdowns that were actually called back. Kerry, we're familiar with this
Oh yeah,
song and dance.
we've seen this.
With these lovable Knox County refs, I mean, you just want to stick them in your pocket and just give them a lot of a hug,
Oh
honestly,
yeah.
for what they're doing there. But again, and
They are hands down the worst refs in the area. I'll say
they're
that.
special. I can't wait to get to the playoffs and maybe get a fair shake. I never thought I'd say that when it comes to the playoffs.
Give me a Blunt County crew against a Blunt County team. You'll still get perfect uh calls from the refs.
You're not lying. You're not lying. In fact, the two
Yeah,
games
you're
that me
not
and
lying.
Kerry saw against Maryville, I mean, obviously it was against Maryville, but they did
Yeah,
not. They
well,
let them play. They let the
yep.
two teams play and let it settle it on the field, and that's what it is. Nobody came to see the refs. They came to see the players settle it on
Hmm.
the field. The modern day gladiators, as I like to call them. But the truth be told is that West had a couple of touchdowns that were taken off the board because of holds that were happening 10 or 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know what they were seeing there, but it robbed our guys of even better stats than what they had. We had to settle for a field goal for one of them that got blocked. And so all I'm saying is that, that score could have been a little bit more. But all I know is that I want to just highlight some of the stats from some of the playmakers that happened on Friday. A lot of guys got to play. A lot of big reps were done. Shout out to Coach Chandler and the staff. Offensively, Jack Harrison, 10 of 12 for 138 yards and 2 big touchdown passes. Cannon Dowd, 5 for 5, 90 yards, 1 touchdown pass. Most importantly, no interceptions, guys. And Messiah Wren doing his thing, 17 carries for 112 yards and a touchdown. Raheem Lee, what else can you say about the ATM? 12 carries for 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Silas Monroe, 7 catches, 138 yards, and oh yeah, the hat trick, 3 touchdowns. I mean, we talked about him last year. We knew he was going to be special when he caught that touchdown against Catholic, and he has not disappointed this year, being as #1 wide receiver for West. And it seems like just now the time is right for the offense to be clicking. Coach, talk about how important that is. We always knew have always had a traditional strong running game, but how important is the passing game as you're wanting to make this run in the fourth quarter, as you like to
Oh,
say?
it's extremely important because now you're not one dimensional. Now they have to respect both the passing game and the running game. If we already know the running game has been where it's been the key focus this whole year, but now when you get the defense to start having to watch what the quarterback's going to do, they got to spread out to cover the receivers. You're going to have a better running game and you're going to have better options. So when they bring it back down to the box, try to stop the run, you got the pass game all day. So I'm excited to see where we go. I have faith in us tomorrow. I got faith in us against Sevier County, and I
Hmm.
think we make a nice little run in the playoffs.
I think so too.
Absolutely. Carrie, we were the ones that first kind of saw that wrinkle of them adding Ken Dowd, into the game and
Hmm.
giving another look at quarterback. But it seems that this has not affected the play of either quarterback, but if anything, elevated the passing game. What's your thoughts on that, being a fan of football and sports in general, and that you've watched so much over the years of how they've acclimated to this change midseason?
Usually, from what I've seen in the past, usually a two quarterback system doesn't work because there's strengths at one has and the strengths that somebody else has. These two are similar because they could work the offense the same way. They don't. You don't drop. Nothing drops. Nothing drops off from these two when you can sub them in. The game plan is still effect. They still execute the game plan very well, and everybody still gets involved. In this case, it's a win-win, and that way it keeps the whole team involved. And you could put wrinkles as a coach. And Shane, you might know this. You might put a couple of new wrinkles in that nobody sees coming when he's switching both quarterbacks in. One quarterback can do something better than the other, but the other quarterback has something to bring to the table. That makes for a perfect combination in this case.
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of Florida back in the day with CJ and Tebow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that worked very well.
Yes, it
That
did.
worked
Because you
very
you had
well.
you prep for one, you don't know what the other one's capable of because you don't have enough film on them, and you can
Yep.
really do what you want to offensively.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. One thing that you'd appreciate, Kerry, the play of the offensive line has been
Oh
very
yeah.
consistent all year. Just a great group of guys. The big uglies, as we like to call them, up front, but they're great guys. And let me tell you something, they are strong as oxes, and they have really done what they've needed to not only be an offensive line that can run block, but can also keep a clean pocket for both these young guys. Shane, talk about how important it is to be indicative of that in the trenches, especially on that side of the ball.
Hmm.
I mean, your O line is literally your smartest players on the team, and you got to rely on them every day to protect you, open the holes, and make your offense click. Without the big uglies up front, you do nothing. So you rely on their knowledge, their ability to hide what they're about to do, and do what they got to do in the trenches because that's where the game is won. You can have a cannon of an arm, be powerful and have speed, but without that line there, you're not doing anything. So
Exactly.
big shouts to the big uglies up there in the front.
And
Absolutely.
continuity is very important when you're offensive line and you played together a long time. And
You know
continuity
each
is
other's
very important. You
tendencies.
know each other. You know each other's tendencies. You know the other team's tendencies. Makes everything prepare so much easier.
Absolutely. And shout out to Coach Ellerby for taking over the offensive line this year and the job
He's done an outstanding job.
he's done, especially having to replace gotten some reps, and so forth. So, but real quick before we continue, if he gives me the thumbs up, I got to bring him on because I know that he's got some things to say about this group, and he's been following them as of late. The OG, Mr. 2003 West, about to be starting his 20th season calling games for the Running Rebels and Lady Rebels and Panthers and Lady Panthers. The one, the only, my favorite Seminole, two-pair Tate. Brian Tate, what is up, baby? How you doing?
Woo!
We got the band back together, baby. That's what it is. It's some Marble City magic going
Oh
on tonight.
yeah.
The swag is back in
Right,
Marble
baby.
City.
Um, did we kind of say something gonna like happen like from the past previous shows? Like what we've been seeing of this team, like we've been really noticing something different. Um, I don't know. Is somebody my bad? The background, I can hear somebody else talking.
Oh, is
Somebody,
somebody talking? Hold
or
on.
is it background noise?
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see.
not.
Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
go ahead. Yep, sorry.
So like what I started noticing is the difference between the beginning of the season
Mhm.
to now, and you kind of see it click because the passing game has not looked like that. Like I was seeing the highlights when I was on the road, and I'm looking at the score. I'm like, it's 45-7. Like I didn't even believe this score. Like I did not even believe the score.
Mm-hmm. And Tupper, there were 2 touchdowns wiped out because of phantom holding calls. They were 10 or 15 yards behind the line. It could have been worse, to be honest with you.
So it could have got worse.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
But no, they've just shown some resiliency.
Mhm.
You know? Like actual we got to think about the coaching firings, and then for Barron to be in the position he's in and weather a storm.
Yes.
Like the guy had to weather a storm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? To get everything in line and to get these guys into the mindset and the mental capacity to go forth and prosper, because I think a lot has been made of the West program because they're one of the few schools that have a high school podcast that's dedicated to them. They're one of the few schools that do media training with their players after a win, after a loss. Like, we don't even interview them after the losses.
Mm-mm. No.
You know what I mean? We don't even interview them after the losses.
Mhm.
If anything, we come on here, on this platform, and we give a distinguished observation of what we seen when we do the losses. Because
Yep.
that's the thing in the media where we're the media now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's just coming from former players, former like people that's been around a program. You start to see like things becoming irregular, and it got to the point where West was winning so much that you kind of forgot how you got there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it started to feel real familiar the earlier weeks of that was what West High School used to do. Like, wouldn't be on the same field with Maryville, wouldn't be on the same field with Alcoa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now you're saying to yourselves, well, where was this team the first 4 weeks of the season?
Mm-hmm.
Where was this team the first 5 weeks? Like, where were they? And look at what they're doing now. Like, that's a
Mhm.
huge win.
Oh,
Yes, it
absolutely.
is.
Absolutely.
Yes, it
That
is.
puts them back in the playoff picture.
Yes, yeah. In fact, we're going to talk about that here in a second. I want to give a shout out to Larry Frank, buddy. Thank you for always your love and support. They just finished a show, their Utah show, and they had the great Eric Dickerson on there,
Oh
previewing the
man.
Wow, they had
SMU
Eric Dickerson on there.
Miami
That's what's up.
Hurricanes game on Saturday.
Wow.
So
The
Eric Dickerson
legend
was
Impressive.
there.
Eric Dickerson.
Yes. So go check it out on the Utah channel. They just finished their show tonight and so forth. And of course, they were talking smack and talking about the history of him being there, Pony Express, that infamous 30 for 30. It's crazy that these two programs don't have any history together, but they were both known as like the scandals that happened, but they were fun to watch back in the 80s and early 90s.
They're both
these
the
two
outlaws
teams.
of college football.
They
if
were
you
the
think
outlaws
about
of college football. So,
it.
yeah.
And what's all legal now, they
Yep.
did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yep.
SMU started all that, man.
Yep,
Mhm.
for sure.
They
For
started
sure.
all that.
For
They should have
sure.
never gotten the death penalty.
No, that was the most
I still believe
ridiculous
to this
thing.
day they should have never gotten the death penalty.
But you
Yeah.
know, when it was set out, like the guy that handed down the punishment, didn't he like faint or like he almost like passed out?
Yeah, he fainted. He fainted after he read what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I heard he had like death threats and whatnot,
Yep.
like because he gave the death penalty to those guys at SMU.
Yeah.
But
What I wanted to also just highlight real quick, Addison Klein had another 28-yard field goal, 6 for 6 extra points, 3 touchbacks. Defensively, JP Peace, 7 tackles, Ethan Fortner, 6 tackles. Give them hail, Dale. Campbell and Sam Lavelle, 5 tackles each. Jeremiah Caswell and Maddox Moffitt with 4 tackles each, and Davis Neely, another solid 3 tackles, and just tons of hurries, rushing the quarterback into throws he wasn't willing to make. And, something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, got to give some love also to Abel Ancelot and to Yarik Book. They had so many batted balls down in coverage. Carnes was always trying to get the big play. It's shown that the DBs are ready for the next 2 offenses they're going to face. You've got Deuce Rogers, obviously, with Powell and his arm, but you also have one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the state from Sevier County, in terms of who you will be facing next week. And you get another shot to stop him. Maybe we fell short. There were controversies last year. We'll talk about that game next week because we'll play them. We'll play them next week. But the truth of the matter is tomorrow night, it's serious business here in Marble City at 7:00, Rivalry Thursday. Mark Packer and Austin are on the call. It's at Bill Wilson Field. It is senior night. Want you all to come out and support the guys. If you can make it out there, they need your love and support. It's our last time to see the Rebels at home. It's going to be a rarity. We're not hosting a playoff game in the first 2 rounds. I can't think of the last time that's happened. I think that was 2018, to be honest with you, that we went on the road for the first round. And we had to go play a very tough Catholic team when they were still in the public school sector.
Mhm.
But that being said, West does have a home game tomorrow night against a familiar foe in Powell. Coach, I want to start off with you on this one. What are your thoughts on what is your thoughts on this one in terms of the matchup? Because Powell's come in 7-1. They didn't get to finish their Anderson County game, and maybe they could have come back, but they were down in that first game of the year. They were kind of running through their schedule, and then I don't know what happened on their senior night. Jefferson County goes in there and takes it to them and wins. So I guess my question to you is, what do we expect to see from Powell and Deuce Rogers tomorrow night?
I think it's going to be a good game. Powell has been good, and they keep breeding beasts out there. Slip up with Jeff County. Jeff County's been sneaky good for a while.
Yep.
You never know what you're going to get out of them. Even when Beard was on their run a couple years ago, Jeff County made it a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect, obviously, I want us to pull out the win, but we got to bring our A game. Right now, for us, the playoffs already start.
Yep.
Because we got win to be in.
Yeah, and actually, it's already started. I mean, and technically, the only thing left is Powell is the region champion, win or lose tomorrow night. Central's already clinched the 2nd seed. The only thing that can change is if West wins tomorrow night and Clinton upsets Halls on Friday night, then West would get the 3 seed and would have to travel to Tennessee High, and Halls would to travel to Sevier County in game 1. But I really don't see that happening. I just don't think that Clinton will beat Halls on Friday night. So I think it's going to be the rematch that we've wanted.
Clinton's got a really good receiver, but Halls is really good too.
Yeah, Mary Lefko.
So it's that could be a tough one right there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only hoping that maybe they're distracted because it's Halloween and it's spooky Friday night. Maybe something will happen in the Dragon bandwagon. We'll get it done and so forth. But, hey, Carrie, if you remember this from back in the day, I miss that little black helmet that they used to have that would lead them out on the field. The Dragon bandwagon. That's what they would call it. I don't know where that's at. If it's in a garage somewhere, or I don't know what they ever did with it, but I miss it.
Probably.
They may have retired old Clinton's Dragon bandwagon. So, but yeah, that being said, it's going to be a hell of a game. The tail of the tape is below 2-pair carry, Coach. Powell leads the overall series 26-16-1. West has 3 state championships, respectively, 2014, 2022, 2023. Powell has 1 state championship in 2021. But West has won the last 4 in a row. And technically has actually even won 7 of the last 9 that they've played Powell. just to let you know. So, it's been more in Wes's favor. I know Powell wants to win big tomorrow night, but, these seniors, they've been through it. And there's a lot to be said that they could go out tomorrow night and really, really put their stamp on this rivalry that they didn't lose. They didn't lose to Powell at all. So
Exactly.
It's always been a hard fought game between us and Pal. Like I remember going back to our high school days. It was, I mean, they had some beast running backs. It's like, okay, we got to stop them type thing to where we can at least. For us, it was senior year. Was we got beat them to make the playoffs. We held them to under 100 yards rushing, but still lost the game like a final few minutes. Like that was probably one of the few games I ever cried at, and that one broke me.
yeah. I remember my senior night. It was ironically against Powell, and nobody really gave us a shot that year. We were already out of the playoffs, but we
Yep.
played them as tough as we could. And I think the final score was something like 42-35 or something. Like
Wow.
realistically, neither defense could stop the other, and we just didn't have enough in the tank that night. And so I hope that the senior night tomorrow night will go different. But I'm going to tell you this, guys. I still believe in this team. I have been preaching since the bitter end of last year's heartbreaking defeat in November, controversial or what have you. But I still believe at 3 out of 4, and I'm all in. These are me pushing my chips in,
Yep.
and I go, I'm all in.
Might as well. You gotta go. Gotta
I'm
go all in.
So, yeah. Two Pair, what's your thoughts for tomorrow night? I mean, you've got a West team that, basically was told you've got to win out to even make the playoffs. And, you go to Clinton, or actually you have Clinton come to here. You put 56 on them. Then you have fall break. Then you go to William Blount, where a lot of people are thinking William Blount's going to win. The media picks against you. You hang another 50. And if not for a couple of phantom holding calls, you probably hang another 50 on Carnes. So, this offense is rolling at the right time. We knew what we had in the defense, but, if they care of the ball tomorrow night, and that has been a thing in this rivalry. Kerry, you talk about the Tennessee-Florida series. The team who turns the ball over the least usually wins that.
Usually wins, yep.
And it's kind of like that with West and Powell, to be honest with you. So, I mean, what's your
I don't
thoughts,
know.
guys?
I just think, man, that they just have a different demeanor.
Yep.
Like, just Monroe, Wren, Lee, like all these guys, they have just been on a different level. And I think that fall break, they kind of got it together. And then I think that William Blount game, you could really see the offense that we saw in the spring is what we've been seeing now.
Yes.
And I feel like it just, they're clicking at the right time. But I don't want to give Powell any more ammunition that they already have, because this game is such of a high magnitude, right? This game is a high magnitude game. When you just look at the history of it, from even when Shane was saying about our senior year, watching my guys lose a tough game like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it kind of broke your spirits in the football realm. Like I just him even saying that, I'm just picturing back. So for this group of seniors to say you have never lost to Powell, and those group of seniors for Powell that are
Have
trying
never
to end
won.
that, they've never won.
They've never won.
They've never won. And that's why I feel like it might be a really hostile environment. Because say they win, I'm speaking hypothetically, those seniors got every right to celebrate because they have never came into Marble City and got a win. Like it's not even been, it's just that Powell West, it is a rivalry. We've owned the better half of this part of it. So what I'm looking at is, how can we stop them on the perimeter? Like, how can we not let their guys get to the edge? Because they have a lot of skilled players that when they get active, they get active. They definitely have some speed on the ball. They play a different brand out there in Powell Land, out in Pantherland.
Yeah, they got a very big physical offensive line. They're big on both sides of the ball. They are, and they've always been. They've got a quarterback that is a truck, and he's got an arm. And I'll be honest with you guys, he has really improved. There may have been some question marks about him a couple years ago that he was raw. That boy can flat out sling it. And he is a phenomenal player, a 3-year starter. And realistically, West's defense has got their work cut out with him because he's probably the most physically imposing quarterback that they have faced all season long. And they have faced some great quarterbacks up to this point that all have their different styles. Will Jones is a phenomenal passer. I mean, Manu at Alcoa is just scary good. I mean, goodness gracious.
But I also think on Powell's end, this may be the most athletic defense they faced all year.
This is true also.
This is the most
Powell's
athletic
gonna
defense.
we got to knock that program down a few levels because their middle school teams just won yesterday.
So they beat Farragut for the middle school championship?
7th grade or JV and varsity both won yesterday.
Wow. So they got something coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, they've got some studs coming in next year also. But so is West. Depending on, hopefully everybody stays. But it'd be nice to knock that program down a little bit because I am not a fan of that program whatsoever.
Well, think about this. You said talk about our seniors have never lost to Powell. Think of Powell seniors. They've never beaten West, and 2, West has 2 state titles on their watch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not enough motivation, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that maybe they were looking at this game a few weeks ago and thinking, oh, we'll cruise in this game.
No.
And truth be told, a lot of people thought that they would run us off their field last year. And we went into Powell and just punched them in the mouth and so forth and won that game. And we all were thinking we'd meet them 3 weeks later and disaster happens. Powell blows that lead to Sevier County. And then the next week, we don't need to talk about that, but the truth of the matter is it always seems like 2 teams dictate who is going to be in contention for bringing a gold ball back to East Tennessee.
And you never know. You might see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Stranger things have happened in in playoffs over the years. Strange things have happened. I'm sure Sevier County's sitting there going, the last thing we wanted to do was probably play one of the hottest teams in the state in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nightmare scenario for them.
Yeah. I mean, think about that, Shane. You're the number 1 seed. You've taken care of business all year. Your one loss is to a private school that you were just playing just to see how you were good, where you were good at. You beat a very good Greenville team on a rivalry Thursday. And so you're rewarded with West, who may have stumbled a little bit out of the gate by not having their first game and then having Maryville and Alcoa on the schedule. But the truth be told is, we didn't shy away from any competition. Nope. We didn't cancel any games. We played. We got better. We learned from these losses. And now we're wanting to see where we're at as we go into that vaunted fourth quarter that you speak about all the time.
Yep. What I think our issue was we had some changes in the coaching staff, obviously, because of everything that happened. You didn't get that connection of what we were trying to do offensively the whole time. And now it's starting to click.
Yep.
Like, the old staff still been here and everything, and nothing ever happened, we'd be rolling like we are already.
Oh yeah.
So now everybody's learned what is like their true responsibility is. They've adapted. We made the halftime, everything adjusted. Here we are late in the third quarter, making a fourth quarter push, and the sky's the limit at this point.
Hey, if you want a fair comparison, think of last year's college football playoff. How would you feel? They're like Oregon. You're sitting there as the number 1 overall seed, and you get either Ohio State or Tennessee.
Yeah, we were all bashing Ohio State.
That's what this feels like.
Yeah, we all bashed Ohio State last year, thinking like, oh, they're nothing.
Yep.
So, yep.
Oh, trust me, we have that show highlighted on YouTube. Nobody swallowed a bigger, crap sandwich. Honestly, crow sandwich than I did. I mean, gosh, I was thinking I was planting the Tennessee flag.
But that's what it kind of feels like if you're Sevier County.
I couldn't believe that I can't believe that they got to that point though. Like they just the way they looked against Michigan, I didn't think there's no way.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there could be some comparisons with this West team that maybe
Yep.
they started out a little slow and everything and didn't have that first game to kind of work out the kinks, and you're
Yep.
taking on. In my opinion, I see Maryville and Alcoa right now, and guys. Alcoa is going to play Anderson County Friday night, and no disrespect to Anderson County,
That's going to be a
Alcoa is going to
slaughter.
name the score.
Yeah, that's
So
Alcoa
a
is
they
going to
just
slaughter.
name the score.
canceled the Bearden and West game. They never played it
They
again.
never
Never
did.
played it.
No, it was never rescheduled. So no.
Wow.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have worked out. I mean, they could have played during fall break, but you know what? Who would that benefit at that point? You know, we risk playing
Exactly.
a game that we could get our guys hurt. Unfortunately for poor Bearden, they're probably going to finish winless this year. And hats off to that staff and players for sticking it through because they
Yep.
were put in a very bad situation.
Rachel
Yeah,
too.
Unfortunately, you know.
I still got a small handful of kids I know on that team, and also I know their parents post stuff, and I follow their parents. Those boys have busted their ass this year.
They have.
They have.
Just playing for that name across their chest and the
Yep.
name and their own last name. Like
Yep.
I applaud Bearden for the way they went out every
I
game.
do too. I do
Yep.
too.
That,
And they
that
almost
Farragut ga-
and they almost
they
beat
should have had that
Farragut.
Farragut game.
They
Exactly.
almost beat Farragut. So yeah. Um,
They should have
uh,
had that game.
They should have. They should have. And let me tell you this: they went toe to toe with Dobbins Bennett for a half last week. It was 7-7. I couldn't believe it. And
If
then
they-
Dobbins Bennett scored touchdowns in the second half to make the score 35-7. But that game was close last
If
week.
they
So
But
keep
isn't
their
it ironic how the changing of the coaching, the
Yes.
coach, like you can just you sense it though.
I
Because
I will
two teams
say
going in
this.
two different directions.
yeah,
I will say this when it comes to that program. You had a ton of kids that weren't bearding kids,
Yep.
that weren't getting reps, left the program. Those that stayed and played, like I know kids who came back this year because like, hey, like I can actually compete. And it's not gonna be about who coach brought in. I mean, props to Coach Jones. He's over at Catholic now. He knows what he's doing football wise. But the way those boys who stuck around at Bearden have competed and played their asses off, they deserve better.
yeah.
I can guarantee you this will be the worst that Bearden will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
No,
will
with
be
Brad
the
Taylor at
worst.
the helm, they'll be fine.
With
They'll
Brad,
be back
I've
in no
known
time.
I've known Brad over 30 years.
Yeah.
This will be the worst that they'll be.
I've known Brad and his wife for
I've known them.
probably about 15 now.
Yeah.
Less
My-
than that. Probably about a decade.
Yeah, my brother and I, we've known him over. He graduated a year after my brother at Bearden, so yeah, we've known him over 30 years.
Yeah,
And
I've known him for a
this will be the
decade because
worst. This will be the
I
worst. that
coached
they'll
his
be.
son. I coached his son at one point.
Yep.
His wife taught both my daughter and my son.
Mm-hmm.
He was the head coach at Bearden when Haley first started playing football all
Yep.
together, and welcomed her into the program as the first girl ever playing
Yep.
under the Bearden umbrella. So he knows what he's doing. He's put
Yes,
kids
he
in the
does.
league. He's put kids in the college. I mean,
Heck, he won at Carnes too.
Yeah, and that's the hardest. place
That's
to win.
hard to do.
Yeah.
That is
He
very
won at
hard. to do.
Carnes. He won at Carnes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a hell of a coach.
I want to tell you this: the games for this week are on the ticker at the bottom or whatever. Two games that stand out to me, and some of these games are played Thursday. Some of them are going to be played on Friday. But I will tell you this much: the two games that intrigue me the most that isn't a Weston Powell. You got to look at that Maryville Oak Ridge game. That's going to be for the region championship. There, Oak Ridge is undefeated. Maryville's only loss is Alcoa, and I think Maryville's going to win that game, but at the same time, that's cool to see those two traditional powers that used to run East Tennessee both being, in that game at the end there. And then another game that has playoff implications of seeding is Carter at Gibbs, which is a very low-key Knox County rivalry. They can't stand each other.
Yes,
Those
How
two
good
teams.
has
Carter
Gibbs
is
been the
sneaky
last
good
2
this year.
years?
Carter's sneaky good.
Hey,
Sneaky
two pair.
good.
talk about that with Gibbs too. Gibbs loses their all-world quarterback. They beat Anderson County for the first time in years, and now if they beat Carter tomorrow night, they're going to be the 2 seed, and not the 4 seed, if you can believe that.
I didn't think that they could be able to do what they did last year.
Yes.
They had an all-world guy last year.
Yes.
Like, he was legit. Wyatt Axton was probably one of the best players in their region.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And to see what they've done this year,
They're very well coached.
They've got a really good program over there.
And really nice facilities too. Really nice facilities.
Yeah, their facilities are so much better than back in the day, man.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a country star. A couple of them graduate from there, and so forth.
Yeah, but only one cares about the school.
That's right. That's right. So.
But that's a sneaky good. That's going to be a sneaky good football game.
And the playoff implications. I mean, the fact is, if Gibbs wins that, they will host a playoff game. They will not be on the road as a 4 seed. I mean, that's how big that game is. So,
and you're talking about
who's got better stadium setup, Gibbs or Heritage?
Ooh. Oh, that's tough.
I like Gibbs' setup though.
I like Gibbs' setup.
I love the view at Heritage.
But the view at Heritage is gorgeous.
Heritage got the better view.
Oh, hell yeah.
But that sunset come down over Gibbs though. Whew.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Cool. And I love that we were on the hill with it in the background, and the Aurora Borealis was going on in the background, whatever it's called. So yeah, with the green in the sky, it was really a fun night that night.
I've never seen a was it baseball, softball?
All of it was going on that night.
Oh wow!
You had to find parking and then bring your car over or whatever like that, because it was it was just crazy.
It's a good thing we did the after show because we wouldn't have got out.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, and everybody was looking at us like, "Who are these guys?" We're rebels with a cause. That's what we are, and we've been rolling ever since. We don't stop. That's what we don't do in West.
And you talked about that game with Maryville and Oak Ridge. That might be the first of 2 meetings.
It might be.
They might see each other again.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me one bit if they saw each other again. And the winner of this game probably will be the host.
That will be the go-to game. Is that game Friday night?
Yeah.
That'll be Friday night.
Friday night.
That will.
Or Thursday. It's Thursday night. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's Thursday night. Thursday night seems to be the sexier matchups of the Friday nights compared to the local area teams. So
they got Halloween parties prepared.
Rivalry Thursday, is way better. I think the Thursday games are better, but I will say once basketball gets covered on the same level.
Oh man,
I feel like it's happening, and it's happening at a slower rate.
Yeah,
because middle school this year is going to be phenomenal in basketball.
Yes,
middle school basketball, high school, and college. So
I need to either ask you or Tinian when that middle school basketball team has a home game. I would love to go see them play. Honestly, I just wanted to see them play. One time.
Yeah, I caught Pal and Corn, but I won't say this. We gotta be better at not just playing our 8th grade kids. We gotta be able to sub some guys. If you got an all 8th grade team, you know what I mean. I don't think it. I don't know. It's like having an all senior team.
And we had that last year. If you think about it, in a way, we did. I mean, so
yeah. Because in some aspects of that, it's good to a certain extent. Because I was watching Powell versus Corn, and I'm seeing a lot of these kids not even get in the entire game.
Yeah,
7th graders. There's games where only the 8th graders are playing. It's it's very weird to me.
It is. Yeah, I mean they need to get the playing time. Go ahead, Coach.
I got 4 players on the Carnes team. One of them was a 7th grader. He's taller than me.
Wow.
Yeah, but and it's weird because they have a 7th grade team now.
Wow.
Some schools have 7th grade team. I never seen that. It was always
Booker goes to Emerald.
Yeah.
7th and 8th.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah.
When I was in middle school in New York, we had an 8th grade team and a 7th grade team. Because we only had at that time we only had 2 grades in middle school, which is 7th and 8th. Now it's 6th, 7th, and 8th, and
That's
there's a
right.
team on every level. In New York, there's a team on every level.
So the way it works in football, I don't know how basketball is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can only play so many quarters.
Yep.
So, like, if I've got a stud 7th grader, he can only play 4 quarters in a night.
Mm-hmm.
So, if those 7th graders are, if the basketball's the same way, they're getting all their minutes in that 7th grade game because the game's played earlier
Hmm.
most times. And then, like, is he there just in case? Because you rely on your 8th graders because they're a little bit more. In middle school, you're still growing and developing. Like, Keegan got to see varsity reps in football very seldomly because my guys were gassed. But I'm not going to sacrifice a quarter of him getting. It's like, hey, we'll throw him in this game
Mm-hmm.
just so he can get some reps when I need him in his actual game. So if the basketball is the same way, because I can't remember because it's been forever since I've watched a middle school basketball game, but that would make sense on why you're not seeing those 7th graders get those 8th grade minutes or those varsity minutes because if there is a cap on how much you can play,
Mhm.
you won't use them in their grade level because you need them there because they're skill level at that stage.
Yep.
Because even a 7th grader compared to an 8th grader in football is night and day
Mm-hmm.
size wise.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, tomorrow night gonna be big. For it either way, and then of course next Wednesday we will see who we're playing, either Tennessee High on the road or Sevier County on the road. And I don't care who we play, we're ready to make this run and see what we can do. I
I
believe
really
in this
want
team.
revenge against Sevier County.
I
Yeah.
You
want
really,
Sevier County too. I want
you
Sevier
really
I
County
think
want
too.
revenge.
you think it's possible? You think they can really make a run?
Yes,
Yes. I
I
think
I'm
they
all.
really
can.
Hey,
think they can. I
listen,
don't
listen to me.
know.
I'm all in.
I got a feeling about these seniors. Like I really do. Like I
Hmm.
feel like they don't want to go down without a fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to kill them. You're
yeah.
basically gonna have to kill them to beat them.
The thing is that what
And that's
other
the
teams
attitude
don't
you should have.
understand is that a lot of these kids have a gear that maybe, no disrespect to them, these kids have been in the big game. I mean, if you
Yep.
think about it, they have 2 rings. They want a third one. They should have had a third one last year. And if not for a referee's call, they could have made history as being the first three-peat in 5A. And realistically,
You think that anybody ever looks at that tape? Do you still look at it? Do you see it? Do you still see it?
I've tried to make peace with it, but at the same time, how we bonded with that group of kids, they got robbed. And I
I
still
still
see Wyatt
remember.
DeRoche and some of the guys come around that are still playing college football locally that show up, and everything like that. And I
When's the last
look at
time
them
you
and it
seen the
breaks my
tape?
heart. Yeah.
When's the last time you seen the tape?
Uh, Probably the Team 100 thing that I watched for Sevier County that
Yeah.
Bowser and Rivalry Thursday put together because
I
they had
remember
the clip.
watching it.
They
I
had
They
the
remember
had
clip.
the
watching it.
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
It was
watching it from
quick.
my
It
hospital.
was quick. They said, "Oh, he came back out or whatever like that," and it's not. They're short. Sevier County
So
wins, and
I,
yeah,
I just want to. I know it's coming up on the year. I
yeah,
want to
Yep.
ask everybody: was he in?
he was in.
He was
He was
in.
in.
He was
I'm
in.
I'm watching from my hospital bed, and I texted James.
Yeah,
I texted him right after that call. He's in. I
I
don't
was
know what
standing on
they
the
were
goal line
missing.
on the opposite side. He
Yeah,
caught the
he was
ball
in.
crossed the plane.
Yep.
He had possession, and it was pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a
Yep.
question? What?
Forward progress in football, because it exists. We all know it.
We all
He
know
was
it
in.
does. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let me ask this: why wasn't this taken up against the TSAA when we had the like no other coach thought to?
Because there's no reviews in high school.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
The
can't
only
go.
thing they can do is send an apology letter or an official to
Exactly. No
talk
matter
to the
what
coach
that
and say,
does.
"Listen, we missed some calls out there, coach, and I'm sorry." I think back to that Ray County game, the horrendous officiating that almost cost Nathan Cottrell in that group. We're up 28-0, and every penalty you could think of under the sun. And if it wasn't for a beautiful Seth Marshall pass to Jeremiah in the end zone, And I actually was yelling, "Ref, don't you call that incomplete? That's a catcher. Don't you call him out." And them two refs, I'm not lying to you, looked at each other and went like this. You would have thought that they had to like basically call somebody dead, pretty much, and they went, and that's it. And it was meant to be for that 2014 West team. But if the refs had called it right, we win that game going away. The problem
Yeah.
is that after the season, it was known that 3 or 4 of refs on that staff or and that were refereeing that game were actually former players of Mark Penn, who was coaching Ray County at the time. And so the TSSAA had to literally come to Coach Cummings and the staff and apologize about what happened. And it's like, well, thank God we got the damn ring, because an apology wouldn't forgive you for not getting that ring. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Because we whooped ass against Hillsborough the next week, 23-6 in that game. So yeah, I mean, that was a great West team that won the first title. So yeah, but
Yep.
I'm just saying that, yeah, but you're right, Two-Pair. I mean, it's all it is an apology. Like Coach said, it's not a review, but realistically, a lot of these kids need to remember that, and don't leave it in the hands of the refs. Take care of business tomorrow night. Take care of business the next Friday night. And after you do that, I don't think that there's a team on this side of the state that
That can
wants any
stop them.
part of you, at that point,
I
if you
feel
look that
like
bad. So
I just feel like that moment is ingrained in so many people's
Yeah.
eyes,
it is.
images, and it's made this senior group kind of lock in because they've been putting belts to you know what.
Yeah.
Like they've been putting belts to ass lately.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, yes. Oh my God, yes. And here's the other thing
Like
too. Tuber, I'm glad that you actually said that, because the way that they have come out, I mean, me and Carrie and Will and Coach Gone, we were leaving the Halls game and we looked at each other and we were kind of like, well, we kind of left some points out there. We turned the ball over when you
Yeah.
can't turn the ball over, and it just was not meant to be the way that we had gotten away with the win a year ago there at Halls. And Halls is a very tough place to play. But
mhm.
that being said, we rebounded from that game.
Yeah.
And basically, they knew they had to be perfect from here on out. And,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they've done. I mean,
Yep.
and to even have a fall break in there where you think momentum could be lost,
No.
this offense, and the thing is this, it's West football. It starts at the top. The
Yep.
coaches with their game plan have been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go towards the offense. The offense doing their thing. Special teams,
Doing their thing.
defense. It
Defense
is a
doing their thing.
well-oiled machine where all 3 phases of the ball are either causing turnovers, causing havoc, and scoring touchdowns, whether it's punt returns, pick sixes, scoop and scores, or just the traditional, pass it down the field, or running it down their throat. This offense, defense, and special teams is a well-oiled machine. And I'm going to also speak about the intangible. What they've been through,
Yeah.
the camaraderie, the togetherness. This is a brotherhood. We talk about the Rebel Brotherhood all the time, and we've tried to stress that to last year's group and the kids that had already won that state title when we first started the show, and why we
Yeah.
have a lot of our former teammates on here so they can share their journey, or people we went to
Yep.
school with, because we are really one West. It's not just a slogan. It's not just a location.
It's a way of life.
3300 Sutherland Avenue is a way of life, like Carrie said.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that is. It's forever. It is forever. So yeah, for sure. So absolutely. So yeah. Got to give a shout out to my guy Rocky, the Italian stallion. Larry's not in here, I don't think, Rocky. I think he left earlier. He had a show earlier and so forth. But thanks for the love and support, brother. So yeah.
Shout out to Yarik.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to all of the guys they're watching right now. And it's really cool that they watch, and
Yeah.
definitely gonna be in the building because a lot of these guys are graduating.
Oh yeah. Messiah's a
like-
senior. Messiah's a senior.
Messiah, how many times have we had Messiah on?
Yep.
Like, Messiah's had some of the biggest games.
Oh, Larry's here. So yeah.
Just look at like from his sophomore year, he has just been
Oh yeah. Yeah.
just a stellar player.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
like the stuff that he's been able to do, and you think about it, look at some of those games where it was a
2 Cajuns.
turnover and he came back and like that Anderson County game last year.
Oh yeah.
That may have been one of my favorite angry runs
Mhm.
I've seen in a long time.
Oh,
And
for sure.
to see where these guys are getting to, man, it's really exceptional because I don't think we've ever seen a team get galvanized by assistant coaches firing, allegations, just the stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's gotten to the point where you lose your head coach after a scrimmage,
Mhm.
right after a scrimmage.
And it was a phenomenal spring game. I mean, you talk about belts to asses against Science Hill, and Science Hill could win their region and get a 1 seed.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's
Like
unbelievable.
it's crazy. Like that's why I say, man, football is a beautiful journey.
It is a
Because
beautiful.
It is.
you watch what it was in spring football to where we are now, and that's not the same team.
Nope.
It's not the same team. Like them dudes, it feels like I feel like they've got a little bit of what's our guy? Was it Cam Sutton?
Hmm.
They played last year
Oh, you mean the big tight end
for us.
for us, Cam? Yeah, what was his name?
It's Cam Sutton, right? Was it Cam Sutton?
No, Cam Sutton played for UT, didn't he? It was Cam. Oh my goodness, I can picture him.
Not
Big
Cam
number 2.
Sutton.
Big number 2.
52.
Yeah, yeah. So
52. Was it 52? Motion Cam. What was his last name?
we
I
got
know
some
his
rebel.
ID.
We got some rebels in the chat. Yeah. So man, we've been talking the whole time. So telling you. So yeah, for sure.
Cameron
So,
Leggett.
Cam Leggett. Yep. That's
Cam
it. So
Leggett.
yep, Cam Leggett. Yep. So
When-
yeah.
Like I felt these guys have a lot of like that attitude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me tell you something.
His-
Messiah
his-
Wren. Whoa.
Messiah
Oof,
Wren,
yeah.
Yari, like
Yep. So,
it's crazy that these guys are going out. Like, hold on, what Yari is Yari a senior?
he's a senior. He's a senior. Yeah. I mean,
He's
and then
a
you've also got Abel Lancelot, who I've been loving watching him for the last 3 years. I knew he
Abel
was
was a
special
baller,
as a
baller.
sophomore, getting in there. Davis Neely, sophomore. I mean, at Dale Campbell, how he has grown into his role as a nose tackle. My guy who, I mean, he wasn't technically my little brother, but my best friend and brother, Will Tercio, has been big brother to little brother in that big brother little brother program to Nalaja Dickey, and we got to see Nalaja's older brother win a state championship playing offensive line a couple of years ago, and so Bradley. So I'm just saying that Nalaja has been fantastic. I mean, this senior group, you can't say enough about them and how they've stuck together. And it's just a special group. And I think that there's a lot of meat left on this bone. And like I said, 3 out of 4, and I'm pushing all my chips in on them. When those brackets come out next week, I got West in the championship game, baby. That's what I'm doing.
Push all the chips.
I'm pushing all them chips in. I'm all in, baby.
That's right.
So yeah.
I just got a feeling I just got a crazy feeling about these dudes, man.
Let me tell you something. Javier Andrade, made a big time catch. We saw him with the wheels against William Blunt score that touchdown, and he had a very big time catch last week as well. And definitely a receiver going to be not only contributing, going to be big time next year as well, and so forth. So yeah, for sure. Real quick, I want to again tomorrow night 7:00. Come out, get there early, and support the boys as senior night festivities will be before the game, and we'll just see how the chips fall and so forth. So yeah, for sure. So
Hey, what time's kickoff tomorrow?
7:00. 7:00. And actually, Javier's a senior. I didn't even realize that. I thought he was a sophomore. So shoot.
No, he's a senior. He's a senior.
I'm going to leave straight from work tomorrow, head to the game.
Yeah, get there. So yeah, for sure. Well,
I think they can do something crazy though, man. Like it's something about this group. Like, I think because they've tasted 2 of them, they know what it feels like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just think I
The
think they want
playoff
to be the
pedigree is
group.
there.
I think they want to be the group to say they can win 3. Like that is if you
Yeah.
win 3
That
in
puts
4
you.
years,
That puts you at Maryville and
That
Alcoa
puts you in a
status.
that's what you yeah, that puts you in
you're in a
rarefied air
different
with
It
them.
does.
conversation.
It does. Listen,
That puts you
I've said it before and I'll say it again. As long as we have a say in it, 5A still comes through Sutherland
Yeah.
Avenue in Marble City. And I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to name a name. I'll name his name when they get it taken care of. Okay. But a player looked at these that I was wearing and he looked at them and he said, I'm going to get me one and I'm going to get you another one. And I said, if that
Oh.
happens, I said, get it done. And you and me will take a picture with all of them together. Honestly, that's what
Oh
we're gonna do.
man.
So he knows who he is. He knows.
He trying to make it ESPN 30 for 30.
Oh yeah, and he told me that in confidence, and I ain't gonna say it till it's done, and I know it's gonna get done. So because he told me that.
Man, they might be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why not?
I think they
Why
got
not?
a shot.
Listen,
Why
in
not,
a year,
Wes?
Why
in a
not?
year when Vanderbilt could make the college football playoff,
Playoff.
why can't
Why
West
not?
do it in high school football in
Why
a year
not?
that nobody's given us a shot? So yeah, they're a dangerous animal. So yeah, for sure.
Personally, I don't think Vanderbilt's going to make the playoff because I think we're going to have something to say about that, but we're going to get to that here. In a second.
Actually, I hate to say it. I think some SEC refs might have something to say about that with the beloved Texas Longhorns this Saturday. But
Yeah.
I hate to tell
I
Vanderbilt
have a
that,
bad
so.
feeling Diego's going to get humbled a bit in
I
Austin
believe
Saturday.
so. And if is Arch even going to be playing in that game?
That's
Because
the
he got
question.
concussed.
He's still under protocol.
But the backup quarterback looked better than him. It's unbelievable. And we even saw him throw it down the field. I mean, it's crazy.
We'll find out
yeah.
because we know it was Mississippi State. So we'll find out if he still looks the same because Vanderbilt's a lot tougher than Mississippi State. We'll find out.
If Diego Pavia beats Texas.
And they almost did it last year. If you remember that game in Nashville last year, it was 35-30. And Vanderbilt had a chance to win the game on the last drive. So yeah, they can.
I know we got some crazy storylines.
We do. Oh yeah, and then the story broke Sunday night on Stallion Speaks. I'm at the Duke UT exhibition game. My phone. I was thinking it was you, Shane, and Kerry continuing our talk at halftime of what we were doing, talking about the game, and all of this is like all the different outlets that I to Brian Kelly fired, and I'm like, so they found the money. Larry and Rocky, honestly, you guys being Cajuns down there know all about that.
They want Kiffin, and that's why they made the move.
Last week?
Yep. They want Kiffin badly.
Did you say something about this last week?
Yeah, we did. We were talking about Florida State too. We were talking about Florida State too, and we were talking about
Kelly. Something tells me Kiffin's staying. Something tells me Ole Miss is about to ante up some serious money to keep him there.
Look at how strange things are, though, right? We said if LSU loses,
he's out.
He's out.
Mm-hmm.
By golly, we said that Wednesday. He's out of there Sunday.
Yep. Hey, that second half said everything you needed to know. They're up by 4, and then the second half, A&M just goes off for 31 straight points.
In Tiger Stadium, man. I mean, that place was. They were heading for the exits in that third quarter.
In the third, yeah.
Rocky UK's Kiffin's offer is $18.5 million is what they're willing to play. Larry Frank said something about the Louisiana governor. Said that Scott Woodward, the LSU AD, will not select the next LSU coach, and that he will.
Not.
That's happened before.
And isn't that AD the same one that gave Jimbo Fisher the extension?
$76 million.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and then
that's not the first time that's happened in LSU history either.
That's not.
No, Woodward's next.
I can't remember how long ago was this been.
So hold on,
the black and white era, but
the governor.
Yeah, the governor.
Yeah, the governor of Louisiana said he is going to make the hire for LSU football, not the athletic director.
Orgeron wants to come back.
Really?
I think Orgeron might come back to Ole Miss, to be honest with you.
So the governor can overrule just anything.
The state funded school.
Yep.
I think Orgeron comes back to Florida. It would not surprise me one bit if that man comes back and he goes to Florida.
Kiffin to Florida, Orgeron to Ole Miss.
I don't think LSU. They're not going to take him back. They're not going to take him back.
LSU not going
they've
to risk
already
another
paid-
name
I
fail.
think he's Louisiana's
Remember.
favorite son. He got to
Yeah.
take him back.
He is, but they've already paid him $30 million to leave.
Right.
They ain't
Jeez.
giving him more money to come back. No.
Well,
I see
and-
him in Florida.
Feel the money.
Would he take a pay cut because he loves the school?
He might. That's a
just-
possibility.
I don't see Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss when he can be the first to do something at Ole Miss.
And
Exactly.
there's not as much pressure there. I mean,
There's
yeah.
not as
No.
much pressure, but
If
if he
they
wants
win a
to be who
natty-
if he wants to be who he is and make his footprint on college football, like a Saban, he goes where he's got the funding.
Yep.
Ole Miss doesn't have the money that a Florida has or LSU has.
The name to hear for the LSU job is Dan Mullen.
Yeah. And he's
Dan
doing some
Mullen.
great things at UNLV. They're having a
Yes, he
really
is.
good season.
They're a contender for a group of 5.
Do you think Florida regrets getting rid of him, by the way?
Yes.
Because was it really that
Absolutely.
bad under Dan?
It wasn't.
I mean, what was it?
It
I mean,
wasn't.
they went toe-to-toe with that Alabama team back in 2020. So, I mean,
But-
shoot,
but
they
they
were the
lost
only
to-
team that did.
But he lost 2 straight to Kentucky.
That
And that's
sucked.
what did
Yeah.
him in. After you've beaten Kentucky for 27 straight years, he not only lost both 2 games to Kentucky, one of them was in the swamp, and it was ugly.
Ugly.
Can I ask a question, Larry? And maybe you might know this, Rocky, anybody. So Orgeron wants to go to Oregon State,
I
but
can
here's
see
my
that.
question: they don't even have a damn conference, or is when is the Mountain West and the
Next year.
and the Pac-12 finally going to make something
Next year, the Mountain
Next
West
year.
will be next year. It'll be the merger comes in next year.
Okay,
They-
okay.
them
So
and
like
Washington
a year
State.
from now, there'll be
Yeah.
a Pac-12 again.
It'll be a Pac-12 again. Them and
Okay.
Washington State. And
Okay,
how
Oh, so they're bringing the Pac-12 back.
they're bringing the Pac-12 back. Yes.
but with a bunch of
But with a
teams
bunch
now.
of but with a bunch of Mountain West teams.
Like Boise State, Fresno State, that type of thing.
UNLV.
Oh,
What
Is
is the
Hawaii
pack
going to
this
join
year?
it? I
think
want
so.
Hawaii to join
I
it. I
think
want
so.
my old
Yo.
Pac-12 ESPN football games on there again.
I
Yeah,
think,
Give
I
me,
think
give me
so.
a
Crazy
school in
with those
Alaska just to make a
games,
true pack.
Oh, dude, if Hawaii was in the Pac-12, think of man, you know what? They would have it great for like their in-season championship. It was the Maui Invitational, like at Chaminade.
Uh-huh,
Ooh,
Chaminade, yeah.
And
That
they
would
still
be
have the Maui
nasty.
Invitational.
And they still
Yeah.
have that, yeah.
But yeah, they need to get that TV coast back because remember the West Coast is now Big Ten.
There's a
Yeah.
name, Kelvin Shepard, Detroit Lions defensive coordinator right
He'd
there.
be a
as
good
well.
name.
Rocky, that's a great name.
That's a
That
great
is a
name.
great name right
Volunteer.
there.
For what they're
Keegan.
doing in Detroit and
He's
and
done
the
a great
level-
job.
Like that group. I mean, look at the way those pass rushers are getting to the quarterback for
Hey.
Detroit. Like, and you're seeing a great deal of attention to detail with that defense. Like they didn't miss a beat with losing Glenn to New York.
And hey,
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson today,
Signed a big
$181
deal.
million,
Big
140 guaranteed.
I mean,
Yeah, he did. I did see that. You're right. Yes.
Big
the
money.
complexity of football
Big
games.
money.
Here you go. What about
He's changed the
Vanderbilt's coach?
complexity of some football games. Like,
I could see him going to Penn State. Be like Franklin when he left Vanderbilt to go to Penn State. I could see Lee going to Penn State.
God, I hope not. Jeez.
I hope not. Or some hot young assistant. Like I said, Brian Hartline is another guy to watch
We'll
out
see
for
tomorrow night.
because
Y-
Penn
y-
State. He could
You know
go
what?
to Penn
You know what bothers me though? Like, if I was Penn State, I would be grateful if Clark Lee, like especially what he's done with Vanderbilt, came to Penn State. But I don't think he's sexy enough name for him. They think that they can get somebody bigger than that. I don't even think Matt Rule's a big name, but that's
No, I
just
don't,
me.
and I think Matt Rule's not
Nebraska
leaving Nebraska.
sucks too.
He's not leaving Nebraska.
Play two.
Nebraska's not that bad. I don't think he leaves Nebraska.
all you got
Now, Brian Kelly, I could see that.
but
I can
Nebraska,
honestly say that he's a Northern coach. If you
He'll
think
get more
about it,
success. He'll get more success up there
yep, then he would
than he will down here.
Yes, yes,
Because the only
No.
two teams he's got to compete with
That-
there are Michigan and Ohio State.
yep. And now Indiana.
it's just Nebraska.
Indiana will fall back off. I
No,
think
they won't.
just-
No,
think they
they
will?
won't.
It's hard
Not
to
with the
get-
way they use the transfer portal. No.
They got that kind of money. Or they pulling
Yeah, they just gave
basketball-
Signetti $93 million.
Are they pulling basketball
They
money
just
towards
gave him
football?
93 million. Yeah.
LSU
Because
should
it's
hire
for
Mario
basketball.
Cristobal. Yeah, I agree with that.
Just
Buy
looking
him
at
out and
just
save
looking at
Miami. Yes. So.
just looking at
Hey,
what
Hey, Signetti
Nebraska
just got
is on that
93
rule.
million.
Damn.
So yeah, they're making a commitment. They're making a commitment to Indiana football up there, man.
My goal is to become a fired college football coach.
Why not? Why not? Jimbo's doing great on the set of a huddle or whatever. I mean, yeah. Why
I
not?
actually heard his name for LSU, and I like, nah, he ain't getting ready to come back after all that bit.
Let me ask you this. There were some games that were going on last week. I mean, we really didn't have any upsets, but I'll tell you one thing. No lead was safe. I mean, Mississippi State should have beaten Texas. They should be ashamed of themselves. And then, I don't know what the hell happened at the end of that South Carolina game. You were right, Kerry, up until 3 minutes to go, man. But
They let them
Bernard
score.
makes 2 touchdowns, and that's the end of that game,
Yep.
and Alabama's still alive. So, shoot.
Yep.
I mean,
Alabama just knows how to do it, man.
I had that called.
I'm gonna tell you this though, Indiana, they put belts to asses to UCLA last week. A&M put belts to asses to LSU. A team that should be ashamed of themselves, because I don't care that Dante Moore got hurt or not. Oregon should have destroyed Wisconsin, and they only won 21-7. Wisconsin, they're trash. They're
Very
absolute
bad.
trash.
Very
But
I
Luke
mean,
Fickell's gonna last to the end of the year.
how the hell has he not been fired yet? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, I've been saying every week, Fickell.
And everybody else is getting
They
fired.
stink. They're terrible. So.
Mark Stoops may be next.
I'll tell you this.
His buyout is not that big.
I want to ask you this. This is real talk. This is real talk.
Getting worse.
I know what Florida State said last week, in support of Norvell and or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was now. If they damn lose another ACC game and they just saw what the hell LSU did, somebody from Florida State's got some deep pockets. I'm sorry, we're after dark now, but I'm just saying, are you kidding me? Excuse my language, but still, come on. I mean, they got pockets that they can buy this $59 million out.
They do, because it's gotten to the point like this ain't it, bro. Like it's been a super drop off since the Virginia game, and it was just like, I don't know. They have not played complimentary football since before the Virginia game.
The scary part is the Alabama game seems like ages ago now.
It does. It seems like
ages ago.
Feels like a bowl game last year.
Keep your train of thoughts real quick. Biggest G asked question about the West game. Who you all think going to step up? I'm going to say everybody is going to step up tomorrow night. I think you're going to see a team effort just like you've seen the last 3 weeks. The seniors especially are going to show up tomorrow night.
I don't see too many teams lose on the senior night that is West. Like,
no way.
That shouldn't happen tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow's a nut up game.
Exactly. Yeah. It is. Cojones. After what he did having McGahee banned from the Miami games due to filming with Nevin Shapiro, I'm really done with Mario Cristobal. Yeah, I mean, all Willis McGahee did was blow his knee out in the biggest game and do everything for Miami that season, carried us on our backs, and that's how you're going to treat one of the best running backs to ever come out of Miami. I mean, how dare you treat McGahee bad just because he was on a podcast with Nevin Shapiro? I'm telling you, man.
Hold on, I don't know. What now?
Yeah, so Willis McGahee's now banned from University of Miami football games per Mario because he went on Nevin Shapiro, who was the guy that came out with the whole Ponzi scheme and tried to get So he's got a podcast now. He was on Utah. Larry and Devin had a phenomenal interview with him, and the truth of the matter is that he owns what he says. But Mario basically is kind of like throwing his weight around that if you associate with that guy who wanted to bury this program, you're no longer welcome at the University of Miami. So Willis McGahee's officially banned from the University of Miami going forward.
I don't think he wanted to bury the program. He just did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
He was trying to be the Pony Express himself.
He was trying to become an agent. That's what he was.
That's what he was
and it didn't work. Like it's so bad because we remember the timing of everything, and like that university suffered for a very long time because of that.
Real quick, Rocky said Oregon's lack of coaching catching up to them. You mentioned that, Rocky. I've heard Dan Lanning's name being thrown around. Now I know Phil Knight's got some money, but at the same time,
I was going to
hasn't
say, I don't see
Oregon
him leaving
been?
that Nike money.
But hasn't that how it's been though? Like if you think about it, Willie Taggart was doing pretty good with Oregon, and then he leaves to go to the Florida State job, and then that we all know how that turned out. Mario does pretty good with Oregon. Now he's at Miami doing and now you've got Dan Lanning doing pretty well at Oregon. But is like Oregon that program that this is as far as you can take it, that you can't get over the hump, and it's a stepping stone to other big name programs, or maybe go back to your alma mater if it's a player in this game and they're willing to pay that money? I mean, I'm just asking everybody.
You know what?
So
I think Lanning heads to the NFL.
I think Oregon is an elite program.
Yeah.
As far as the funding, the facilities, the whole nine.
Facilities are top notch.
They've not put together a complete team on all phases of the game.
Yep.
It's just it. Like think about it. You look at all the Oregon teams that were really good. What was that team missing that team didn't have? What was this team missing that team didn't have?
That team had, yep.
It's a story. It's been like that since 1994 when they got to a Rose Bowl game and got spanked by Penn State. It's the same history.
That's right. I remember that. So the Mighty Ducks. I'm going to tell you this.
And then last year, the playoff, they got to the Rose Bowl in Ohio State. That game was over in 10 minutes.
It was. Well, and you want to know something? A team that nobody's really talking about, and I'm not saying they're going to make the playoff or anything, but there was talk 3 weeks ago about because when Penn State made the move with James Franklin, that don't be surprised if Michigan makes the move moving away from Sharon. And I have to disagree with that because first off, that guy is doing a hell of a job that was with a program that was left in shambles. And they're playing a redshirt freshman quarterback, and all they've done is who they've beaten, honestly. I mean, they've lost to Oklahoma early on the year, but realistically, I'm just saying that it'd be funny if Michigan beat Ohio State again at the end of the year. I'd laugh my ass off at that, but you never know.
When the game's at Ann Arbor, it wouldn't surprise me.
That man keeps his job for 5 years if they do that. Because think about it.
He's already done it.
There's no way on God's green earth that Michigan should beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
He did it last year. That's his 5 years right there.
Yep. They have not won legitimately since before COVID. I mean, that's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. So
I'm thinking about this Saturday. This Saturday is going to be Dennis Dixon, all the Morgan quarterbacks. But this Saturday, dark mode. And I just got my thing, and I just got my thing on X that Mr. McCoy is back, and Colton Hood will be there too. We got our starting secondary.
You give me Ricky Gibson back. Also, I'd be
Gibson. They're saying maybe in a couple weeks for the tail end.
If you gave me Gibson back this week, also, Oklahoma doesn't score a touchdown.
I don't think Oklahoma's going to score much anyway. To be honest with you, because Mateer came back from that injury and he hasn't been the same since he came back.
Yeah.
Ole Miss should have beaten them worse.
I like how Ronnie Garner pretty much said, "Hey, like, we know we've messed up. We know we're better.
Yep.
And they've got to go out and prove it."
Yeah. Rocky asks the U versus SMU, what we got. I've got Southern Methodist beating Miami on Saturday.
It's going to be a whale of a game, but I think it's in Texas, isn't it?
It's in Dallas. It's Miami's first road game outside of the state of Florida. So, and it's at 11 o'clock Central Time. I don't like it. I hope Miami wins. I do. I hope Miami wins and proves me wrong, but I've got SMU in that game.
And if I looked up the history right, this is their first trip to Texas since the 1990 Cotton Bowl,
where they had over 200 yards of penalties and still won 40-3 over Texas.
Yeah, over Texas.
Yes. Yeah, Lamar Thomas
It was a
or
horrible
Randall
Texas
Thrill doing the
squad.
6-shooter in
Yeah,
the end
6-shooter.
zone. So
That
let
was a
Randall
horrible
Thrill.
Texas squad, though.
That
That
was a
Texas.
terrible Texas squad
Oh
in
yeah.
1990 that somehow won the last Southwestern Conference and got in to the Cotton Bowl.
Do you want to know something? I think that's
That
one of my.
next year, I think Miami wins the Natty,
The
right?
ne-
They did win the Natty.
No.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing.
Yep, they won it the next year.
The funniest story from, and there were so many funny stories from the original U of the ESPN 30 for 30. I loved it that the referees from that game or college football officials literally said that any gyration this way, any dances after celebrations like this is an automatic 15-yard unsportsmanlike. And it's like Miami wrote the rule book on like what is not allowed
Yep.
after a celebration or whatever. The George
Yep.
Jefferson celebration was not allowed. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Oh,
Like
man,
it was
the
just
George
funny.
Jefferson, that was
The George Jefferson.
Randall
The
Randall
George
Hill Thrill.
Jefferson, man.
Randall Hill Thrill used to do it.
Yeah, Larry Frank's got SMU winning. Rocky thinks Miami wins. Larry Frank's got a new nickname for Mario Cristobal, the human tree stump with loafers. So yes.
Oh God, man.
Oh my God! Let me tell you something. Larry can say whatever he wants on this show because he's got to be good on his show or whatever. They're yeah. So he is feel free to say his piece over here.
He's unfiltered here.
Yes, that's correct. So yes,
I'll tell you a sneaky good game Saturday is the 3:30 game, Georgia and Florida. This is Florida's first game with the interim coach.
Who
And
is
it's
the
a
interim
rivalry.
coach at Florida? Who is this?
I
Is it
forgot
Billy
who it was.
Gonzalez or
Yeah, something like that. But I think
Now, who
this
was
is
he?
a rivalry game.
Was he like a
It's a-
DB coach or something, or what was he there?
I think it was
So-
the
his
offensive
name
line coach.
Oh my
I may have
God!
said his name wrong. It was Gonzalez or something.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I've never heard of this guy. It
But
might
I-
be his name.
But I
so
believe
shoot.
that game, it's the cocktail party. It's always tough. It's always physical. Florida's got nothing to lose.
Can I say this though?
They've got nothing to lose.
Am I wrong for saying this? And call me out, chat box and panel. The refs are not going to let Georgia lose that damn game. There's no way they will let them lose that game. I mean, I just don't think so. I could be wrong.
You think they're in their pocket? That's a possibility. There's a hey.
I listen. This man was going like this. Their head
Yep.
coach. He's oh no, I wasn't doing that at all. No, I
And
was
TV
clapping.
caught him. Well, then
Yeah, I
again,
was clapping.
well, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
we
have to
were all
worry about-
clapping.
Well, remember that crew got suspended, which is basically fired. They got fired,
They
and
deserved
they
it.
deserved that.
Yeah, there's a lot of crews that have been absolutely horrible. So lots of interim coaches this Saturday. Yeah, and there's a game that was supposed to be the game, and it's on Fox if you want to watch that ass whipping. I think Ohio State's going to hang 50. I mean, I was listening to
who they
college
got?
football talk after work today, and there were some Ohio alum talking about, oh, man, it's still Penn State. Penn State, they're so bad. I mean, you're going to just destroy them.
Yeah,
I
they'll
mean,
destroy
my
Penn State.
Come on. What are you trying to say here? I mean, it's in
They
Columbus.
fired their coach.
I mean,
And
their
the quarterback's
quarterback is out.
out.
He hurt. I mean, please. This
Yeah,
is going
that's
to be an ass
slaughter.
whip. This is going to be belts to asses for the Buckeyes over at
Yeah.
Penn State. So,
That's
Yeah.
not going to even be funny.
I mean, it
Have
really
y'all
has
heard
to be.
Funny.
Sarkisian is rumored to get the Titans job?
Yeah,
Can I tell you this? Then all right, so then let me just throw this out there. Then who the hell does Texas think they're going to get? Are they going to get Kiffin? Is this what it's all about? Is who gets Kiffin? Is this all these teams are putting it all in
Hey.
like Lincoln Riley or what? So
they
John
got deep
Gruden.
pockets. They got deep.
John Gruden. Well, I
See-
like that name.
See, I've heard John Gruden for the Titan job. I've
Yeah.
heard that
I take
too.
that. I take that. That give me hope in the Titans again.
Hey, Sark. Why was they going to beat Penn State worse than Joe Jackson?
I just
That's
had to-
wrong. That is so wrong. That is so wrong on so many levels.
that Jackson 5 documentary just came into my head with Joe Jackson.
American.
Yeah, pick a twig off that tree.
Down here right now.
Oh my gosh.
Man,
Oh.
that is wrong on so many levels.
Sark wants out. Rocky said Rocky also followed it up with Arch Manning concussion protocol my ass. So wow.
But yeah, that's just wrong. We have a Joe Jackson reference. When you get a Joe Jackson
love
reference, man.
Well, guys,
Hey.
I gotta run. Man.
All right,
I
Two
gotta
Bear.
go.
All right,
Hey,
Two
real quick before you run, your stink, real quick. I want your stink, real quick.
LSU.
They do stink. They do.
Stink. They stink. They stink. Like when we said on the show that if they lose, they're gonna fire their coach. I didn't expect for them to fire their coach, and then I say they stink.
I don't say that we're Nostradamus, but I'm saying we are Nostradamus on this show. We have
Yeah,
been
I'm more of a-
85% more
Yeah,
right
who's the
than
next one?
anybody.
I'm more of a Brian Kelly.
Who's the next one that gets
stink.
fired this weekend? Yeah, Brian Kelly. We called that one. We called Billy Napier. We
Yeah.
called James Franklin.
Yeah, we've called them
Florida
all,
State
man.
probably next.
We called
Yeah,
the UCLA coach.
if they don't beat Wake Forest, Norvell
They
could
don't
be
beat-
it this week. So
And they just beat SMU 13-12. So if they don't beat Wake Forest, yeah, I think Norvell might be the next one that boots the asses as they see you.
I keep throwing Luke Fickle, and I'm wrong for whatever reason. I don't know
Luke
why.
Fickle's got
but-
blackmail foot. He's like Mike McDaniel of the Dolphins.
Yeah,
blackmail
they got
footage
pictures
somewhere.
on somebody.
They got pictures
but
on
anyway.
somebody.
Yeah. Now, Two-Pair, get on out of here, bud. I hope I see you tomorrow night. Go Rebels, baby. Drop
Yeah,
that
Two-Pair.
W. So,
I
yeah,
see you,
for
Two-Pair.
sure.
I definitely try to be in the building tomorrow, man. I told some of the guys if I'm not out of town, I just been super duper busy. And before I leave, man, keep Young Bleed in your prayers. He suffered a brain aneurysm
Oh, man.
after the Cash Money versus No Limit show out in Las Vegas. So yeah, man, keep him in your prayers.
Damn.
But no, definitely I'm gonna try to be out there tomorrow, man.
Absolutely. So, and pray for
All right.
Jamaica, man. They got absolutely smashed by that
Oh,
hurricane.
tell me about it, man.
Prayers
Pray
for them.
Jamaica.
So,
Prayers for Jamaica, definitely.
And keep Young Bleed in your prayers.
Yep.
absolutely. See you
Yeah,
tomorrow,
thank
brother.
y'all,
Love you, man.
See y'all. Love
See you,
y'all.
Two-Pair.
Man. Have a good one.
Two-Pair out. So, yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny. Rocky's my stink is always Florida State. That's a true Miami Hurricane fan
Yeah.
right there. So Mike Norvell. Yeah, I mean, you have a point. We're not there at that segment yet, but you do have a point, Coach, when you say that it really is more Brian Kelly. I mean, this guy, like, he just, oh my God, he sucks.
He's a horrible person.
Yeah.
He's a horrible person.
He's a horrible person.
He's fake.
Yes,
I
he
mean,
is.
he's faker than
fake.
fake, if you can believe that, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to be fake, to be that fake, and he is.
You know, I got issues with Butch Jones, but you see where he learned it from.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
His name is
My cousin played for Butch, so I've got to hear all the horror stories of who Butch was.
Yeah.
And I remember being at a game and Butch be like, "Fuck the fans."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But where did he learn from? He was under Brian Kelly his whole career till he got to Tennessee.
Yep. Can I throw this out there? Can I throw this out there?
Speaking of which, guess what job he's being mentioned for? Oklahoma State.
He'd do good there. He'd do okay there
I can see that.
because that would be more his level
Style.
that his rah could do. They have the money to compete in the NIL.
Yep.
His slow, boring style of offense would work there. Yeah, I mean he'd do okay there.
Yeah,
He would.
champions of life. You get the
Champions
trash
of
can,
life,
Get
you
the
know,
trash can back out. Everything.
That is still one of the worst
Be a
things ever.
mediocre. Win between 5 to 8 games a year, and they'd be
make a ton of money working for T. Boone Pickens out there, and that oil money and all that oil money out there.
Yeah.
I did want to just say this real quick, by the way. I wanted to talk about this real quick. And if anybody wants to talk about more college football, we can go back to it. But the other thing is, this is another one of my favorite segments. So these are the NFL scores on Sunday. There was more atrociousness, more trash that was played, more terrible teams. And here's my favorite segment, because I know you all were ready for the rankings one more time. Tanking for who? Here's the current NFL draft order. The Jets managed to defy the law of physics by just sucking and blowing less than who they played on Sunday and won their first ball game. Congratulations.
Because the Bengals are horrible.
Not to be outdone was the Titans, who were just absolutely, utterly pathetic and got absolutely run-ruled out of there by the Colts. And the Titans are now 1-7 in the 2 spot. Larry says that the Saints are worse than the Titans. Do they even play this year that we can determine that on the field, unfortunately? Because the fans wouldn't win that one.
Yeah, the fans would
It's
win
going
that
to turn
one.
into a coin flip over who gets the first draft pick.
And that's not the first time this has happened.
They really do a coin flip? I didn't
Yep,
know
they
that.
do a
You
coin
guys
flip.
blew my mind with that shit.
If it's a tie, they'll do a. Well, actually, no. Actually, no. What they'll do is to compare conference records.
Oh, well, the
And-
Titans are
and
0
then-
for whatever
and then-
against everybody. So yeah,
The AFC, which means
Mhm.
they would get it. Which means they would get it again.
If the
wow.
Titans are smart, they tank the rest of the year.
And
You
you
don't
can't-
take the number 1 draft pick. You use it for trade value.
Or maybe get
Yeah,
2
you
picks
trade
in
and
the
get a
first
ton
round.
of.
I mean, because like, who right now would you draft number 1 that's draft eligible? I mean, I know who I'd take, but he ain't draft eligible yet. So
Well,
I
see, here's
mean,
the good news for the Titans. They don't need a quarterback.
they
Nope.
don't. No,
They could draft. I draft the offensive line.
I draft
get
a,
that
a
offensive
big time
line quick.
offensive lineman,
Yeah.
somebody. So yeah, somebody. Yeah,
Because he needs protection.
he does. I mean,
You go with a Taylor Lewan type pick like they did years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you go with you get the best offensive lineman that's in that draft.
yeah. Yeah,
And
I
you
think
make
about
them-
the Dolphins taking Jake Long that one year, and he wasn't even in the draft room. He was fishing with his dad
He was
that
fishing
day
with
from
his dad.
Michigan. So yeah. Oh, I'm going there. Okay, I'll be there for a rookie camp or whatever. So I mean, that's what he said. So yeah, thanks. But yeah, and then then the Ravens. Lamar's back. They play the Dolphins, so that's going to be interesting right there. 4 versus 5. I
They'll
think the
beat the
Dolphins
Dolphins.
lose. Yeah.
The Ravens won't be in a top 10 for long.
Yeah, I
They're
felt
still
bad
good.
for Cam Scattaboo, by the way. That injury
Yeah,
was
oh,
nasty,
that's-
man.
that's
He was
so
having a
great
good
ankle.
year too.
And the
I
scary
hated to
part
see
was nobody knew what the injury was until someone looked down at his foot, because it looks like just a regular tackle. And then somebody looked at his foot and go, "Oh God!" And they
Yeah,
were
it's
like,
supposed-
this.
it's supposedly went down, like he came back down. That was his
His
right,
right.
leg.
And then it turns
And
out,
you saw it pop.
he did more damage than they thought when they got in there and operated on him. He found out
Yeah.
that he tore a couple ligaments and fractured a bone in his foot. So yeah, but he'll be ready by minicamp, they said.
Yeah, yeah.
He will
No,
be
I
ready
mean
by
the
next
the
minicamp.
events of modern medicine, because an injury like that 30
That's
years
a year.
ago, you're
That's
done.
at least a year.
Shit,
Yeah, maybe done.
13 years ago, you weren't fixing that because I've got torn ligaments in
Yep.
my ankle and I have no foot flexion in my foot.
Yeah,
Yep.
you don't fix that back
Yeah.
then. But yeah,
Yeah.
technology's amazing.
And it was a shame because he was really having a
Yeah.
damn good year. He was winning me some fantasy games. Like I took him as a late pick to kind of like spell one of my major running backs that was on a
Mhm.
bye week, and he was getting me points, man. He really was,
And you
and
could tell,
it's a shame, man. The Giants
and you
got
could
some
tell the rest of
pieces.
that game that the Giants were not the same.
No, they weren't.
They were not
weren't.
the same. They didn't want to play football because they
No.
saw what happened to their guy.
Yeah, I mean, because you bond with a guy, and an
Yep.
injury like that is just devastating, you know. And then there was that really bad injury on Saturday to the Missouri quarterback too. He gets
Yeah, Bo
tackled
Prelu. Yep.
on Vanderbilt, and now he's done for the
He's
year.
done
and
for the year.
everything like that. So you know, and I don't know. I will say this much, real quick, talking about NBA. I felt how terrible everybody's been all on Cooper Flag or whatever like that and so forth. And it's like, dude, let's give him some
He's a
time
rookie.
before. I mean, come on, guys. Like, I mean, he's years old. Like, I mean, he turns 19 in December, and you can see the flashes. And then, not to mention, he's playing out of position. They're trying to put him at point guard, which I know that it's positionless basketball in college basketball, but he's not a point guard. He is kind of a Swiss Army knife that can defend all 5 positions. He can get you some scoring. His 3-point shot's gotten a little bit better, but his ball handle skills are not Kyrie Irving. And so when Kyrie gets back, I mean, it's like that's going to be the point.
Exactly.
What I hate about the NBA now is they expect these kids to come in after 1 year of college and just dominate the league.
That can't happen.
It doesn't work that way anymore.
Yep.
They don't have time to develop. They're still growing into their bodies. They haven't even hit that borderline grown man size.
Exactly.
Like they're still kids, and you're having them go bang against 25
grown men,
to 30 year olds.
grown ass men.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Larry, does NBA have any players left? I thought they all got arrested for gambling.
Nah,
I mean,
just a couple.
that's a bad look right now. for
That's
NBA.
going to come out. There's going to be more of it.
There's going to be more. And not just in basketball. I got a feeling there's going to be other sports involved too.
Larry said the exact same thing, especially, Larry said the exact same thing, that you're going to see that.
Like we got a coach doing it. Like it's
in
going
bed
to
with
be
the
more.
mafia. And the word mafia gets mentioned.
Mm,
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yep. Well, and then we always knew that the mafia had ties to Vegas.
Yep.
Larry Frank has preached on his show
Oh yeah.
that you get some of these people that are referees that have day jobs, you know what I mean, type of thing, and they're affiliated with somebody, and it's like, are they really calling these games right? Because we've been harping all year. There are some atrocious calls, and you can't tell me that these calls are like legit calls. Like, I mean, like, what the hell are you watching? I know the game can be fast at times, and if you made a mistake, you made a mistake. But
Mhm.
again,
Oh,
you're
well,
making like monumental calls that dictate an entire outcome of a game. Go ahead, coach.
what was the name of that ref that got busted years ago?
For the Kings Lakers game,
Tim
The
Donahue.
what?
Tim
Tim
Donahue.
Donahue. Was that
Tim
it?
Donahue.
Tim Donahue.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Donahue.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing
He
that
said
level
that.
again. Like,
Even he said there's more people. He said
Yeah.
then there was more people involved.
Rozier sacrificed $20 million for $200,000 under
Yeah.
the table. My
For
God.
prop bets. Really?
it's like, oh, you got me score this. I'm taking the under.
And then yeah.
Larry,
And then
that's my idiot of the week. Spoiler for Stallion Speaks on Sunday, by the
that's
way.
the-
That's my idiot of the week, unless you take him first. So there you go. I'm sure we'll have another buffoon this weekend pop their head out.
Oh,
and
I've
so
already
forth.
got one in mind for They Stink.
Oh, well, you better bring it here in a second. So
Oh, I'm bringing it.
real quick, I did want to also bring this one up very quickly. Just because of we talked about it a little bit at halftime and so forth. You can have him. I'll take him, Larry, for sure. But I'm sure some other buffoon will come up. We talked about it at halftime. I covered it a little bit at Stallion Speaks, and I went off. I was mad. I was mad from a standpoint that it's 7 minutes left, and I know it's an exhibition game. That's not the point, okay? But that was a sold-out game. The crowd was magnificent in the first half. I mean, Duke was really looked young. They looked scared, and the crowd was really affecting them. They were rushing their shots. They weren't getting back on defense. You could tell Tennessee had really fed off the crowd. Then, like Shane mentions, Duke goes on one of their patented runs, and the fans aren't doing anything. They're just sitting on their hands doing nothing. But nothing was worse that the game was still within 9 points. And at the 7-minute TV timeout, guys, there's people heading for the exits. And I'm like, where are you guys going? Did not anybody catch Duke's collapse last year in the Final Four?
That was all the people with money
Yeah, I guess so. They wanted.
that
Yeah, I
was there,
guess so.
and that's what happens is when the people with the money buy all the tickets.
Yep, you're right, Shane.
Watching it on TV, I saw a whole section of empty seats behind the.
Oh, I took a picture of it. It was gone, and I'm like, it was like, and then here's the best part. I was telling Larry Frank this on Stallion Speaks. I said there was a Duke fan and his young son next to me, and the kid. I asked his dad. I said, "How old is he, by the way?" And he goes, "Oh, he's 6, 5, or 6. I think he said he was 6. I thought I heard 5, but he said he was 6." And I just complimented him. I said, "For a little guy like that, he knows a lot about the game." And this kid is a Duke fan. He looks around and he goes, "Dad, where are they going? This game is not over yet." And I was like, that right there is probably the realest statement I've ever heard, honestly.
Yeah.
So, but, and then my initial thoughts on the game was, Nate Ament and Cam Boozer, I mean, were phenomenal, lived up to their rankings.
There was some serious talent on that court.
There was. And you know where I thought the difference was, Kerry, in my opinion? And I even asked this to you guys last year. So this Pat Gongba guy was saddled with foul trouble in the first half. He had 3 fouls.
Mm-hmm.
Then he plays the second half. He's knocking down 3-pointers. He's grabbing boards. He's really dictating the inside presence. And I felt UT shied away from attacking the paint because Gongba was in there.
They did.
And so then I'm asking to myself, and this guy backed up Common Malawach last year? Because I think if this cat was in the game in the Final Four, he could get you the one rebound that Common Malawach couldn't get you, and maybe Duke is the one cutting down the nets and not Florida. I know Larry don't want to hear that, but this guy looked better than Common Malawach, who was an NBA lottery pick, and this guy's a sophomore, and he was his backup last year. The Duke guy was telling me next to me. So, yeah, but I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me if you see those two teams playing each other down the road
in March.
in NCAA
Without a
tournament
doubt.
game. Yeah,
without
because these
a doubt.
two teams are good.
Yeah, no, and Tennessee, my God, man, that front line. I mean,
Yeah.
Vernon Carey's son, who played for the Hurricanes and the Dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
his son, his other brother, played for Duke for that one
Played for
year, and
Duke.
now is in the
Yep.
G League. But that is a grown man, Jalen Carey. And then
Oh
that
yeah,
Brown
good,
guy,
good.
somebody said he was a freshman. I go,
Yeah.
that guy looks like he's a senior with how
Mm-hmm.
buff he is and big. I mean, Tennessee is huge up front,
Loaded
by the
and
way,
loaded.
huge. And realistically, they were knocking the 3-pointer down. I mean, and I'm just going to say this, man, they are going to be a problem if the preseason rankings galore or what have you. But I'm telling you, they're a lot better than the preseason number
Yeah.
17. My ass, I'd say not 8 or
I'll
9
tell you who else
based on
is.
that
I'll tell you.
performance.
I'll tell you who else is going to be a problem too. I had a chance to watch Kentucky's game with Purdue.
They're
Kentucky's
good,
going to be a problem.
dude. I think
Kentucky's going
Purdue
to be
is
a big
overrated.
problem.
Purdue
I
is
think they're
this year's
overrated.
Kansas, by the way. Is this year's
Yeah.
Kansas? So
Now Nolan Smith, fantastic player, can do everything.
yeah,
They don't have 5 of them, and that's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
I think they're overrated.
I'll tell
Kentucky
you.
looked really good.
I'll tell you. I think the Tar Heels looked good. I watched their game against BYU. I knew they came up a little.
Yep.
They had nowhere else but up, but I think they made the right calls with the transfer. And then that Caleb Wilson guy that I
Oh
was
yeah,
telling you guys
he's a
about,
stud.
he's another guy. I mean, this is a year
Stud.
where you've got some dudes that
Yep.
are going to be problems, and it's going to be fun NBA draft next year when you see where the Nate Ament or Cam Boozer or the kid from BYU, AJ Dipasana, I think that's how you say his name. Then you've got Caleb Wilson. I mean, I'm just saying these guys are all going to be very high draft picks in the NBA draft
Yep.
come June. So yeah,
Oh
and they're going to be
yeah.
fun to watch this year. It's provided they can all stay healthy. But
I think college basketball could be like college football this year. There's going to be
yes,
good teams all over the place. There's going to be action personified, and nothing's going to shock you.
yeah, yeah.
When teams lose, good teams are going to play good teams. Good teams are going to lose. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. It always does.
Well, and honestly, I loved that Duke and Tennessee did this for an exhibition game,
I-
and then Tennessee gets to go to Cameron next year, which
Yep.
would be awesome. I'd love to try to go to that.
That's going to be a great.
That'd be a
experience.
tough ticket because there's only 9,000 seats in that gym.
Yep.
But at the same time, at least you're not going to have Duke fans leaving with 7 minutes to go. I mean, you're just not.
John Shire, I read his comments after the game, and he said to Tennessee fans, he said, this was incredible. He said,
Oh, he loved it.
he said, my players are going to get so much just for being in this environment.
Uh-huh.
Because there's not many stadiums that they're going to have 20-some thousand people yelling and all that during the year. So yeah, they were excited. He relished it. He said this gets them ready for March.
Yeah.
Because they're playing in NBA stadiums in the NCAA
and
tournament.
they didn't have that, and that's where I think the moment was too big for a young team in the Final Four. I just almost think that like that's growth as a coach when you acknowledge you didn't have your team prepared and you were checking all your boxes. And that's where I have a problem with some of the coaches in college football that nobody thinks outside the box like that.
Yep.
They don't. And a young mind
I agree.
can do that. That's where I think it's missing.
Yep, I think so too.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, Kerry, let's go to your big games of the week, brother. I mean, what are some games that you feel we need to keep an eye on in both the college and pro level? And Shayna, also, I want you to chime in here shortly because we got the They Stink coming up as well as our predictions for some games. So chat box can participate.
Of course,
too.
the 2 in the college level I'm looking at. 3 is our SEC package. You got Vanderbilt and Texas at noon. That's
Really
going to be an
sexy
interesting
game.
one.
Yeah.
Oklahoma and Tennessee Saturday night, and the Georgia-Florida game. I really believe that's going to be high drama. Florida's first game without Billy Napier. I'm expecting Florida to give Georgia all they can handle because everybody else is giving Georgia their best. I expect Florida to give them best. It's a rivalry. It's the cocktail party. It's going to be a lot of fun. The pros is the annual meeting now between the Chiefs and my Bills. Mahomes versus Allen. And this is a little unique. This is the first time in both their careers they're facing each other, and they're not in first place in their divisions.
Isn't that something?
Which means this game is even bigger on a bigger scale because if neither one of these teams win their divisions, it's wild card positioning. Whoever wins this game is going to have a leg up for a possible wild card because if you're the 5th seed, your road could be a lot easier than if you were the 7th seed. The 7th seed would have to beat 1, 2, and 3 to get to the Super Bowl.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this the 425 CBS game?
It's the
So
national.
this is not even the
425.
NBC Sunday night game. Is what you're telling me.
Yep, this is the national CBS game. This is the game of the day. CBS only has one game at 425. The whole country gets to see this game. The
I'm
NFL today is doing their show from Highmark Stadium.
Wow. Shane, what's the over-under? We get to see Taylor Swift. Your favorite.
4 times.
I'm gonna say 4. Yeah, 4 is the. I'd set it at 4 too.
Could you imagine the DraftKings lines of different things? Like how many times will Taylor Swift be shown? How many times is
who
Andy
else
Reid
will
going to
see?
spit on camera?
I know who else will see.
If there was an over under for me at a football game, it'd be how many dips is Coach Shane gonna put in during this game?
I think you'd give Coach Rayleigh a run for his money. God love
There's
him.
another woman. There's another woman that'll be seen at that game. Haley
that?
Steinfeld, Josh Allen's wife.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen? Oh, yeah, I think she's much better looking than Taylor Swift. She is hot.
Listen,
Yeah.
we need to go back to that. We had an episode last year where
That's
Shane,
what-
me, and Two Pair just like we went off on that. Like it's like, give me, we gave measurements is all I'm going to say.
she's a
We were
tremendous-
talking Jennifer Love Hewitt, like when
Yeah,
she did
not
the.
just a gorgeous woman. She's a great actress.
Yes,
that seems
exactly.
better.
Haley Steinfeld, that's her name, right?
Yep.
Haley Steinfeld, yeah.
She was in
Stein,
Sinners.
Sinners. Yeah.
Sinners, yeah.
If you ain't
She
seen,
looked hot in that movie.
Sinners,
She's a babe.
you need to watch that. That would,
It's
yeah,
one of my favorite movies now, honestly.
yeah.
So,
Sinners is
yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
And another sleeper game on Sunday, which is at 1:00. The Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. You got two of the top 5 defenses in the game. Should be low scoring. Should be a lot of sacks because both defenses are just incredible. I expect if you want a good defensive battle, that's the battle you want to.
My daughter called me the other day after she got off work because she works at Kickback Jackson, Alcoa. And she's like, Dad, the Titans, these are her exact words, fucking suck.
Yeah.
She's like, why can't they be like the Broncos and at least stop teams from scoring? I was like, yeah, you ain't played football since you were a sophomore in high school, and look at you.
Hey, by the way, have you been to Kickback Jacks? That's one of my favorite places, by the way.
I've heard of Kickback Jacks. I haven't been there yet.
Carrie, that's where you need to go because I think it's better than like a Buffalo Wild Wings. Like I think their food is better. The TVs are nice. They're positioned perfect.
Where
they
is
always
it
have
at?
a good game. Where the
right when you hit the split,
with a split.
Alcoa.
Okay, yeah.
First set of restaurants. So where the new Texas Roadhouse is over there.
They're
Yeah.
right next door to it.
It's right next door.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
I have to go check
Yeah,
that out.
I know the managers of it. I'm
Yeah.
friends with them. That's how Haley got the job.
Yeah, no, me and Sandy love that place. Like we love old Kickback Jack. So
Yeah, I'll
for
go
sure.
check that out this
Yeah.
week. I will do that.
Absolutely.
If you ever see Haley in there, tell her hi. She's,
I will. I will. Now that I know that she.
Now that I
how
know
long
that
has she
she
been
works
working there? Because it's been a
Yeah.
minute since I've been
She's
there.
been there a few months.
Okay.
I think the last time I went is when I picked Sandy up from the airport when she was coming
She's been
back
there
from
since.
Florida. So July.
I think she's been there since. I think she's been there since July.
Kickback Jacks. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, no, you'll like it. It's good. I only
deal.
knew about it because that's where my boy used to take me in North Carolina. And when I found out they were coming here, they've got a fan in me. I
Okay.
love that place.
Yeah,
It's really
my
good.
buddy Sean and his wife Rachel run that place.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's
It's
good
really
to know.
It's full too. It's a great place to watch a game, any game. So they got anything.
That's awesome.
Tons
That's
of
good to-
TVs.
That's
so.
good to know.
Well, it's time for our favorite segment.
Yeah.
They stink. And Chatbox, if you're watching, you can give me what you think stinks right now, and so forth. But Shane, I'm going to let you go first this week. Two Pairs shared LSU. Who do you got as your they stink this week?
The piece of shit human being who deserved what he freaking got, Brian Kelly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Between the kid from Notre Dame who he may go film and lost his life due to high winds,
Yep.
and then
I forgot about that.
the Greg
I
Brooks
remember that.
Jr.
Somebody brought that up this
situation.
Yep. Somebody brought that up this week too.
Yeah, you stink as a human being and a football coach. You deserve nothing. I hope you never get a job in football ever again.
And look what he did to Larry's cousin. Just
Yep.
completely just ditched
Yeah.
him.
Ditched him.
Didn't even be there for him in his darkest time,
So I made my son
or how
sit
he was
down.
being
I
ridiculed.
made my son. I was talking about with somebody the other day, and my son was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I want you to watch this interview." And it was the Ryan Clark interview with Derek Brooks, and I was just like, "You need to watch this whole thing." And my son was in tears.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I believe that.
Or Greg Brooks, not Derek Brooks. Greg Brooks.
Greg Brooks, yeah.
Greg Brooks, yeah. Well, he's gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead, and that can go for a guy too. So there you go. He's
Last thing
done.
I'll say is it's not he's
Exactly.
not Butch Jones 2.0. Butch Jones is Brian Kelly 2.0.
hmm
He learned it all from that
Yeah,
piece of shit human being.
Yep. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, and kudos
Explains
to
a lot, doesn't it?
LSU getting rid of his ass, honestly, because they saw the writing on the
Exactly.
wall. Did anybody hear what Jacob Hester said? Former LSU great. Jacob Hester basically said it best. He said, "We knew where we were going, and that's not the standard at LSU." I'm
They,
not an
I,
LSU
bel
fan, but that takes balls to say
I
that. So,
believe even like former players are now welcome back
yeah.
Yeah.
because I saw where it's like the doors are open, players are welcome back, and
Yep.
what that the same thing that reminds me of is Butch.
It's Butch Jones. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the exact
Um,
same thing. When I saw that, I was like, damn, it makes sense because I've got buddies who played for Tennessee, and they couldn't stand him. Plus, my cousin played for him. My cousin flat out told me was he rather played for Derek Dooley
That's
than
saying
Butch
something.
Jones. Because
That's saying
he
something.
played under both of them. He skipped his final season of eligibility to take a job with out of D1 in Nashville, just so he didn't have to be under Butch Jones one more season.
That's bad.
I'm going to tell you this. One of the best kickers in West history, George Bullock,
George Bullock.
was so
Yeah.
Yep.
mistreated.
Yep.
Him and all the Derek Dooley holdovers were so mistreated by Butch Jones, and it was like he was like, "You need to leave. You're never going to play here." And back then, the scholarship was for 4 years. So George Bullock's like, "I'm staying. I got my
Yep.
scholarship. I'm done. So
Yeah.
I'll be here." And
Yeah.
Exactly.
My
he
cousin was a walk on, so he was just like,
yeah.
I'm not going through this shit again.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit. So yeah.
And just think,
Oh, go ahead, Kerry. Go ahead.
Derek Dooley might be one of the next senators from the state of Georgia.
Yep, that's going to be.
That's a scary thought, isn't
That
it?
is a scary thought with his orange pants and his cheapness at the mouses here. So not tipping strippers, but
Oh, don't forget Chick-fil-A too, because I met him at Chick-fil-A when he first came to town. And my God, what a tightwad! He was a tightwad at Chick-fil-A. When you're a tightwad at Chick-fil-A, there's a problem.
He wore his pants. He wore his pants tight and high, them orange ones, and that was exactly what he was. So
let's not forget when he was on the sidelines in a stool.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! And then he had that look in his face, like my God!
And then can't count 13 men on the field at LSU. We had the upset of the year, and he can't count 13 men.
He should have been fired then.
Should have been fired. That's a fireable offense.
Yep.
Then the whole Rommel spiel.
Oh yeah. Well, Larry's got a quick day stink. Mike Tomlin, his Steelers, poor baby, losing 2 games. He was winning in less than 6 days.
Yep.
Tomlin, you smell like paint thinner and ass. You stink. So he does. I mean, Mike Tomlin,
stink.
And he had the damn division by the balls, and he did something like that, man.
And now the Baltimore Ravens are the betting favorite to win the division, and they're 2-5.
Can you imagine, like, that they can do this? Like that. I mean, nobody else could come back from a 2-5 deficit because that division is so bad.
That's
honestly.
why the Bills-Chiefs game Sunday is very important, because both of them are wild cards. Whoever's the 5 gets to play the worst division champion, and right now that is looking a lot like the AFC North.
And that would be they're already in the Ravens' head, and they could have.
They are already in Baltimore's head.
They are for sure. So, Kerry, who's your they stink this week?
And speaking of the AFC North, I gotta go to another team in that top 10 list. I gotta go to the Cleveland Browns, and I gotta say this to Myles Garrett: you stink. I've never seen a guy that has had a 5-sack game gets up to the podium and is frustrated because his team is not winning. My man, you took $160 million instead of getting traded to a contender during Super Bowl week like you asked. You can't go out Write a letter to the newspaper thanking the fans for supporting you, asking for a trade, and then 72 hours later, you're going to take $160 million from the same badass team. You knew what you were getting yourself into. Myles Garrett, you stink.
You stink.
My God.
Well,
He wants
I
out of
had
there so freaking bad. Like also he wants the money, but he hates being there.
it's so bad. It really. Well, all right. So I was going back and forth on this one. I really was, and I mean there was some bad football on Saturday, and you can attack the Big Ten, you can
Yeah.
attack whomever. The team that absolutely just outdid everybody with this atrocity. And not that they were lighting the world on fire. And I don't give a damn who was out, hurt, and who was available and who wasn't. But for the team that I called they stinks the week before to absolutely whip the dog shit out of you in every sense of the words and basically make Tua look like an NFL MVP was the Atlanta Falcons, who were just
Yep.
absolutely an utter waste of space on Sunday. The Dolphins could do whatever they wanted to do. This same Dolphins team that got dog walked by the Cleveland Browns, who's another impotent team offensively.
Mm-hmm.
And the Falcons could only muster 10 points. And Tua actually went without an interception this game and threw 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. And not one of them was named Tyreek Hill because he's still coming back from a broken leg. Atlanta Falcons, since that Super Bowl, you stink. You are nasty.
God,
Get out of here. You are terrible. With a beautiful stadium and great city. Terrible.
And you know what's going to happen? You know how bad they stink? Here's what's going to happen Sunday. They beat New England.
Probably.
Yeah, because you can't trust them. You can never trust the Atlanta
I mean,
Falcons.
is London and Penix playing? Not that that matters or whatever.
No,
I mean,
one,
my goodness. So.
Kirk Cousins looked every bit the 40-year-old guy that he was. He looked horrible, man.
God, man. I mean, some of these guys need to hang it up. And then, like what you said, what the hell with the Vikings and they're still doing their thing. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is out for the year. They're down to some guy named Max somebody to be a quarterback this Sunday. J.J. McCarthy, they still don't know if he's going to go Sunday.
And you know what the worst thing is? Can you believe this, Kerry? The NFL fantasy stupid thing actually has people trying to buy it that, oh, he'd be a great one to start this week. And he's like, you don't even know if he's going to play. How dare you give that advice to a fantasy player that doesn't know what they're doing? Honestly, how dare you? And Darnold's lighting it up, and he's going to light it up this week when the Seahawks take on who they're playing.
And Daniel Jones, they had him in the building. He's lighting it up with the Colts.
Can you imagine? Oh, man, there's some bad.
They made a calculated mistake. They made
all this, and then you've got 10, 11, and 12 that aren't far off, but I just can't fit them on the screen because they suck real bad too.
Suck bad too.
There's some bad teams, man. There really are. So, well, how about some predictions, guys? It's been a great show as always. How about some predictions? Okay, I did 7, and if the chat box wants to participate, please go for it. But let's take a look at this. Let's go with that noon game that you wanted to. That was one of your big game bets, Kerry. Vanderbilt at Texas. Vanderbilt has looked great at home, but now here's a road test against a Tech that may, by addition, by subtraction, might be better now that Cedric Baxter's back and they're archless with a quarterback that looks like he knows what he's doing. So who do you guys got, Vanderbilt or Texas?
I will never pull for little brother. Give me Texas.
I got Texas too. I think Texas. I think this starts off. I think they run. I think there's a possibility they could run the table the rest of the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say this about Vanderbilt. If they win this one, Texas is firmly out. Because here's the thing: even if Texas wins this one, I think A&M will beat the belt to ask them. So that'll end that. Whatever the SEC wants to try to even do of maybe pushing Texas as another contender still. But no, they're done. But my point is this is what Vanderbilt has left. They've got Auburn at home next week.
They'll beat Auburn.
They've got Kentucky at home.
They're going to kill Kentucky.
That'll be the firing of Mark Stoops.
Yep. They've got another bye in between the Kentucky game and the Auburn game, and then
They
they
come to
go.
Knoxville.
Then they come to Knoxville. That's what they have left.
And that game could be a playoff elimination game with them in Tennessee.
So technically, it's up to really the two UTs, no pun
Yep.
intended,
No pun intended.
of stopping, because I don't think Auburn can beat Vanderbilt in Nashville.
I don't think Auburn can either.
No, not in Nashville. If it was in Auburn, I'd give them
Yep.
maybe a chance, but I think Vanderbilt is. And here's the other thing too. I think that them coming here to Knoxville, not that Nashville would be like what you've always called it, Knoxville West, Shane, or what have you, but still,
That's
they just
Neyland
play
West,
better
all
at
day.
home.
Neyland West.
Neyland West, yeah. So, but honestly, give me Texas in this one. I think it's a noon game. I think Pavia kind of has some of the same problems that he did against Alabama, where he does too much, and I just think Texas might have found some life with that double overtime thrilling win, and they might have found themselves a quarterback, and they're not even paying $4.5 million for. So, yeah, I mean, or $5 million. So, Miami at SMU. Kerry, who you got in this one? They're in Dallas.
The fact that the game's in Dallas, I'm going with SMU. I think pick. SMU wins a close game. I think it's a close game, and I think SMU wins by a touchdown.
Yeah. Shane, who you got in this one? Miami at SMU.
SMU by a field goal.
I've got to go with SMU in this one. Any other coach would have Miami completely prepared. This is, and I know hindsight's always 2020. I really wanted to pick Louisville that Friday night against Miami, and I said this. I said I think Miami will win, but if they want to show me as a program that they've taken that next step, they covered the 13.5 spread or whatever it was at the time. They did.
And they
looked horrendous. They even looked awful last week against a very terrible Stanford team for a half, and then just poured it on. My thing is this: it's Rhett Lashley, who that could be a name somebody might want to.
Oh yeah, easily.
So I'm going to say that real quick.
Oh,
Rhett Lashley.
Here's another name. Name.
Rhett Lashley was the offensive coordinator at Miami prior to Mario being hired.
Yep. Here's another name. Alex Golish.
Alex Golish, yes. So, but I look at Miami and I look at SMU, and SMU's got a lot of players that used to be on Miami's team that went with Rhett Lashley and have gone there, and they've shown out. And it's just prime Miami to be Miami, to not only lose to a former coach of theirs, but also to lose to players that used to be on their team. Yep. So give me SMU. And if Miami does win that game, that'll shock me and surprise me. But at the same time, I've fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm going with SMU until Miami proves me otherwise. Yep. So, yep. Georgia versus Florida. I just think that Florida will give it a spirited go and so forth. I just don't know what their players are playing for at this point. If they're even close to, if they run the table, could they still become bowl eligible or not? That being said, just give me Georgia. And I don't think it's going to be close, especially in the second half. I think Georgia pours it on. Shane, who you got, Georgia or the Gators?
Give me Georgia.
Good pick.
I don't think Florida having any momentum coming into the Tennessee game.
Give me Georgia, but I think Florida pushes it because it's a rivalry game. They got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They got absolutely nothing to lose.
I agree with that.
And it's going to depend on who wants to be there.
Yeah.
From this moment on, it's like who wants to be there.
Yep. I agree with that. So, Kerry, Texas Tech at Kansas State. The reason I put this game up here is that if you remember at the beginning of the year, Kansas State was a top 15 team that people were maybe even saying could challenge for the Big 12. Obviously, they started with that loss to Iowa State in Dublin, and then of course they lost another game that they really shouldn't have lost. And it's been kind of a season in turmoil. But they look like they've turned it around a little bit. They've won 2 in a row. They beat arch rival Kansas. That's not saying much, but they really hung 40 on them. And so you've got Texas Tech, who rebounded quite nicely from their loss a couple weeks ago, winning last week. But the thing is that could they be looking ahead to a big matchup next week against BYU that would maybe pretty much either close the door on BYU's chances of the playoff, or it might even just open up a door for a path for Texas Tech to get there. So who do you got in this Texas Tech at Kansas State game?
I got Texas. I don't think Texas Tech looks ahead. I think Texas Tech comes in, takes care of business, and then they deal with BYU, because that could be the first of 2 games. They could beat each other 4 weeks later for the Big 12 championship in Dallas.
You could.
That's and I think it's important. Whoever, and that game's going to be important, because whoever wins will have a leg up first on a possible playoff spot with the Big 12 championship.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Because I think only one team's getting in from the Big 12.
I think so too.
And I think that's going to be the champion.
I think so too. And if the SEC really wants like 5 teams, like some people are projecting now and everything like that, you root for like a Kansas State to win this game. Not saying they will, but you almost need Kansas State to beat Texas Tech, and then you need Texas Tech to beat BYU. And that way it pretty much comes down to, Texas Tech and BYU in the Big 12, where only one of them gets in and not both. But that's just my thoughts. So, and this one, Shane, who do you got? The Red Raiders or the Wildcats?
I'm getting Red Raiders all day.
Yeah. I like Texas Tech's offense. I don't know what the hell happened that they were snoozing against Arizona State, but they got it together last week. And anyway, I think that they put it together again and take care of the Wildcats in Manhattan. I'm going to save the Tennessee game for last. Georgia Tech at NC State. Everybody's talking about Georgia Tech now as being the flag bearer of the ACC. Haynes King has been impressive. But realistically, looking at Georgia Tech's schedule, this is Georgia Tech's last toughest game before the big one at the end of the year against Georgia. That won't be a conference game, but a lot of people are saying that Georgia Tech could still lose the Georgia game and still get in because they would be the ACC in the ACC conference, win or lose. So, in this game, I think that NC State put everything they had against Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame beat the hell out of them in the second half. I just think that that NC State, this is a game that they could win. But I just think Georgia Tech is so well coached, and give me Haynes King over CJ Bailey. And I like the Yellow Jackets to win by at least 10 points come Saturday. Shane, who do you got in the Georgia Tech NC State game?
Only because Keegan's got some family that played down there doing Georgia Tech.
Okay.
The job that Brett Key has done at Georgia Tech is second to none.
The Falcons could learn something from them because they're the it team in Atlanta, not the Falcons. So
they could learn They could learn a lot about what he's done. But Brett Key, the job that he's done has been huge. It's got him out there now with these big schools out there as a possible guy that people are looking at for one of their openings.
Mm-hmm. Well,
before Tech will win this game by 14 points.
But before we go on though, real quick, we mentioned Brent Key, Georgia Tech grad, right? Okay.
Yep.
And then you've got Clark Lee or Lee Clark at Vanderbilt,
Clark
right?
Lee.
So,
Clark
Lee. And so he's a Vanderbilt alum. I mean, those two guys, could be the hot names or whatever like that. But, man, they could really make their program something.
Exactly.
Maybe it's not just all about the money. Learn where you want to be, and maybe there is no place like home. I don't know.
Folks, we're possibly heading for a playoff with Indiana, Vanderbilt, and Georgia Tech.
Traditional basketball, basketball
schools could be in the college football playoff.
And it's not out of the realm that Memphis is now back in the driver's seat because of that comeback win against South Florida. So you've got a basketball school in Memphis that's also on the table as the group of 5 right now.
And don't forget Navy. Navy's still in the conversation for with Memphis now.
Yeah, and Navy's a solid team. It's just unfortunate they got to play Notre Dame this year. And Notre Dame, frankly, has got to win that game to even have a possibility at staying in this. So
they got to win out just to stay in the discussion.
Yeah. Interesting game here that also's got implications for a team if they want to make some noise as the Big 12 representative. Utah, their backs are against the wall. Cincinnati is technically undefeated in the Big 12 right now. Their only loss is Nebraska, and I still don't know how the hell that happened at the beginning of the year. But Cincinnati's playing really good football, and as we know, they were in the playoff, Luke Fickell's last year before he took the Wisconsin job. But Cincinnati's in the conversation. Shane, who do you got, Cincinnati or Utah in this one?
Ooh. Give me Utah.
It's a good pick. Kerry, who you got in this one?
Utah, it's a tough place to play out there in Salt Lake City. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Close game. They're
Yeah,
sneaky good.
they
They're
are.
really sneaky good.
Well,
Cincinnati is.
do you know Cincinnati's been one of the most frustrating teams for me to pick all year? I picked them
Mhm.
for Iowa State to win. They beat Iowa State.
Yep.
I then, but at the same time, Utah has really let me down because I picked them to beat Texas Tech. They didn't, and then Utah let me down against BYU.
Yep.
So that being said, I'm gonna not. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati. I just cannot just throw my eggs in Utah and let it be 3 times. So I'm gonna go with
Yep.
Cincinnati until they prove that they will lose a Big 12 game because they're playing some good ball right now. So yeah, but all right, the game. A blackout, if I think somebody said earlier. Oklahoma at Tennessee. You know,
Dark
guys, we were
mode.
talking about this game as potentially being one of the teams that could potentially beat Tennessee. But truth be told, I think Oklahoma's wins over Auburn and Michigan have lost a lot of luster, more so the Auburn
Hmm.
one than the Michigan one, because Michigan it seems to have turned a little bit of a corner. But that being said, who do you guys got in this one? Kerry, I'll let you go first. Oklahoma or the Vols?
Dark mode. The atmosphere is going to be lit. You got Fowler and Herb Street, the big time crew calling this game. It's only a shame that game day is not here
Yeah.
or the SEC Nation because that would be just a cherry on top of it. I think with the additions back in our secondary with Hood and McCoy and the way our offense is playing right now with Joey, I don't think Oklahoma can stop them. I think it's a 14-point win. I like Tennessee to win 37-23.
Shane, your thoughts? You're going to be there on Sunday, and I can't wait to get a full report the following Wednesday. So, yeah, or Saturday. You'll be there Saturday for
Yeah.
the following report for Wednesday.
The
Yeah.
the greatest experience in college football outside when I went to the Battle at Bristol is dark mode inside Neyland Stadium right after Halloween. I've been the last
Yep.
3 years is the greatest environment ever.
Yes.
Tennessee's going to come back out and get revenge for the last time Oklahoma played here. I was at that game
I
when
was too
Baker
10 years
couldn't
ago.
even hear anything, and flat out said it's the loudest environment ever.
Yep.
Pure chaos from the time you warm up to the time the game is over. Give me Tennessee 45, Oklahoma 17.
I like it. I
And I
like it.
think Josh Heupel takes this one personally because
Just
Oklahoma's
like
screwed.
last year.
Yep.
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 And
And
that's why I think he takes this week personally more than any other week.
I thought we were going to blow them out last year, and then it kind of you started to see the kinks in the armor where Nico
Yep.
was short. You know, he just wasn't the guy. And I think that's when people started to kind of there were question marks. Like you said, Kerry, Joey's rolling. I think the running game is going to be a big time
Yep.
difference. Look for the offensive line to impose their will against Oklahoma's supposed great defensive line. I don't think this game is going to be close. The blowout that I predicted against Arkansas is going to happen Saturday night under the lights in Neyland Stadium, and give me the Vols all day, 3 times on Saturday. They get
David
it done against the Sooners and get
David
that monkey
Sanders
off their
makes his
back.
first collegiate start.
I like it.
Dark mode.
I
You
like it.
mentioned in a dark jersey, 295 pounds of solid steel. That offensive
Solid.
line for Tennessee is gonna be, yeah, they're gonna be geeked. And Shane, I went to
Deshaun
the,
rushes for 150 plus.
I think
Oh
they
yeah.
run for almost 290, 300.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
I think Deshaun gets half of it himself.
Yeah,
I think they're going to get 500 yards of offense
yeah,
easily on that defense. So yeah, easily. They'll have them leaving hog and air, and they'll do the hurry up thing, and they won't know what the hell hit them. Honestly,
and
they'll be out of gas by halftime.
John Mateer hasn't been the same since his injury.
No.
And this is not the time. This defensive line, and after the week they've had, Rodney Garner has got them working on tackling, has got them working on everything.
Mhm.
They're going to come out fist and fire. That crowd is going to be, oh my God, it's going to be electric.
Yeah, I'm
There's
just
no
glad they took care of business against Kentucky because there were teams last year that were last week that were just screwing around with inferior ball clubs. That game had all the ripings of a Kentucky trying to save Stoops' job, and luckily they never let it be closer than anything. Like they always had a big margin ahead of them, and they needed to, and that's what they need to do again this week and leave no doubt. Because here's the thing, guys, and we'll be talking about it Wednesday. The playoff committee reveals Tuesday
Tuesday.
their first rankings, and it'll be very interesting how they view this Tennessee team with 2 losses, especially when the 2 losses are against 2 teams that will be in the top 5, provided that Alabama's not going to lose, but Georgia takes care of business because Alabama's off this week. So.
And I think that's what the committee will see is the fact that Tennessee's 2 losses come to the number, probably the top 5 teams. One of them was an overtime in which you control.
Yes.
Yeah, if they're going to look at that, Tennessee's going to be, if Tennessee does what they should Saturday night, they're going to be in really good position to position themselves to win out and get a playoff spot.
I like it.
I like where they're at because I like where they're at right now.
Yeah.
And Kentucky, the one thing about the Kentucky game that really hit me, Stoops' calling card all these years has been defense. Mm-hmm. He's given up 40 to Josh Heupel now, 3 out of the 5 times they've played.
Yep.
That's not good.
No.
He hasn't figured out Heupel. He has never figured him out. He probably will never figure him out.
No. And I think that, like Shane said, this could be the week that they pull the trigger. I will say this much: if Vanderbilt hammers them like we think they will or whatever, that could be the Stoops firing right there. Because when you've allowed Vanderbilt to surpass you in every way that counts, that's the end of it right then and there. So yeah.
And their fans were leaving in the middle of the 3rd quarter. They know basketball season started, so they're like, "Hey, we know we're not going bowling, so guess what?
Yeah,
our football season's done. Basketball season started."
I'm going to tell you this, man. I don't think Pope was a trash hire for them. For what he inherited and what he's done, Pope can actually coach.
Yes, he can.
And who better to do it than one of your homegrown guys, up there in Kentucky. So
he's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah. And he'll probably have a better record and finish better than what Calipari will do with Arkansas this year.
Although he doesn't have Calipari doesn't have a bad team.
No, he's got a good one too.
He doesn't have what Kentucky and Tennessee have. I think he'll be fighting an uphill battle.
I don't think he's got the front court or the depth that those 2 teams have this year. So great show though. Great show.
I'll tell you who else impressed me at that scrimmage. JP Estrella. He really impressed me.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. Like Tennessee threw out there. I mean, there was 23 points off the bench in the first half. I want you to think about it. 23 points off the bench. I mean, some teams don't even get like that in a game, let alone like 10 points off the bench sometimes if you're starter heavy. And it's just a deep team. And if they can stay healthy, and they're going to need every bit of that depth to navigate the toughest conference in America.
Conference in America.
Yeah. So
I mean, 13 teams made the NCAA tournament last year. You know how tough it's going to be.
Two of them in the Final Four, and 2 of them are considered probably statistically 2 of the best teams ever. But only one of them got the glory of cutting down the nets. And Houston and Duke were no slouches as all-time teams ever, based on their
and they both come back loaded. Houston comes back loaded. Duke's is loaded.
Yeah, Duke looks like they got another team this year.
Yeah.
So.
But this was a great show tonight.
It
was a good show.
And tomorrow night, man, real quick, I'm going to throw it up there again. West against Powell. Show up tomorrow night, and hopefully we can maybe even do a thing on the field afterwards, Shane, if you stick around and so forth with Rebels with the Cause. So and Kerry, I hate that I'll miss you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I hate that I'll miss you guys too.
But my condolences to your friend and his family, and safe travels to and back. And
thank you, buddy.
And then regardless, it's either going to be a road trip up I-81 to Tennessee High, or just down I-40 to
Route 66.
Sevier County. Route 66 over there. One of the 2. So
on a baseball note, Blue Jays won Game 5. They're up 3-2, heading back to Toronto with 2 chances to win 1 game and a world championship.
Can I say that I was completely wrong? I thought that I had the Dodgers in 5, by the way. So, but
I'm gonna
what
tell
do
you
I know?
what. No matter how this series goes out, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is a star, and Shohei Ohtani is the best baseball player in the world.
Oh, without a
He
doubt.
might be one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That
Toronto's
game
made a nice little
three,
comeback past
that
2
game
games though.
three alone. Yeah, I give Toronto a lot of
I
credit for the
I
last 2
woke
games.
up at like
Yeah.
2 in the morning, 2:30, and my phone buzzed. It was like 18th inning.
Yep,
I'm like,
game's
are you
still
kidding
going.
me? So I turned it on and watched that walk off by Freddie Freeman.
Yeah,
But the last 2 games have been all Toronto.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I thought when the Dodgers won that, I said, that's it. The Dodgers
yeah.
are
Usually
the Dodgers are
that
going to go back to back. They're done. I mean, yeah.
that
So,
usually breaks a team.
hmm
But you
yeah.
know what? I thought about this. They showed this today. 2018. They also played an 18 inning game in the World Series. The Dodgers did. They and the Red Sox. They won that game, but the
But the
Red
Red Sox
Sox
won the
won the
series.
series.
Yep. And that was the
That's
last time the
where
Sox won.
that's where we're heading with Toronto. They lost game 3. They may win the series.
Another
But
AL
that's
East team.
impressive what
Yeah, because
Toronto did the
Toronto's
last
up
2
3-2
nights.
now. I think they won 6-1 tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they won 6-1.
I had
Their
it on.
pitching has been the story.
Yeah, I had the
So
game
when's the
on.
Their,
next
their
game?
pitching's been
Friday or
phenomenal.
Saturday? Because they got to travel probably
Friday.
tomorrow.
Friday
Yeah,
Friday
it's
night.
night.
Friday
Wow.
because Game 5 was in LA.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
In Toronto.
Friday night.
And my goodness, 32 years after their last World Series with Joe Carter
Yep.
and that group that beat the Phillies,
Yep.
93, that went back to back in 92 and 93. So, wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
But yeah,
Well,
what great show tonight.
great show tonight, guys.
Gosh,
But
this
yeah,
was fun.
yeah, it was fun. So, but Weston Powell tomorrow night, go Rebels, and we end every show throwing up that W, baby. And as you know, it's Rebels with a cause. That cause don't stop till the clock hits 0. But it's almost midnight. We got a lot going on. Enjoy the weekend of football, guys. For the coach, Gary Reeves, and our wonderful chat. Go get them, boys. Girls soccer, hell of a season.
Yep.
Rebels with a cause. We are out of here.